Arizona, Corbin Carroll has gone yard.
On the Cy Young Award winner. 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
Scooble on the mound for Detroit. So, but we will update you throughout the course of today. Manuch, look, anytime you have a breakout game like what we witnessed last night.
Jimmy B.
I know, a debut breakout game. And they asked Torrey after the game if he could remember anything quite like that. And he said, well, I've been around a long time, so yes, I have seen, great things happen for first-time players in their first ever MLB game. But he said this one, because he was the manager, was really special.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, you heard about this kid in spring training. He had a couple home runs in spring training. Then, you look at what he does and you just watch him around the base, his athleticism. Mm-hmm. Kid's 6'3", barely 165 pounds. But his swing, his stroke, he gets a base hit, and then he gets back-to-back home runs, gets a couple of dingers there. But you look at him and you just go, wow, this kid just looks the part. Doesn't he, Jimmy? He just looks the part.
He does.
He reminds me of, is it Diaz, the shortstop with the Reds?
Yes.
Kind of that same kind of build. He's 6'5", about $155 on a good day. Now, he's a little more willowy that way.
Yes.
But they're both very athletic. They're good with their hands.
Oh, no, you're thinking of De La Cruz.
I'm sorry, De La Cruz.
Yes, De La Cruz with the Reds.
He's 6'5".
Yeah, he's a tall, slender guy.
Fast, not real big, very quick stroke, great bat speed, strong. And that's the same thing you see with Fernandez. And he handled third base very, very well. He only had the one strikeout, but 3 for 4, as you mentioned, 2 dingers, 4 RBIs, and a 2 runs scored. But what's very interesting when you kind of take a look at this infield, all Dominican infield. Think about that. Marte at second.
Never even thought of that.
Yeah, Perdomo, you had Fernandez at third, Perdomo at short, Marte at first, Santana at first base.
I like his music.
Yeah, you had, and then the DH, you had Moreno was the DH and McCann behind the plate. So you sit there and think the Dominican Republic alive and well. The Diamondbacks are thanking them very much to have first, second, third, and shortstop all covered by the Dominican and all playing very, very well. And you kind of stop and think probably the only one out there that's really not getting the job done, he is in the fielding, is our guy Carlos Santana, hitting a 0.63 as far as that's concerned.
Okay.
So, what's going to happen today?
What's going to happen, Manuch?
Nolan Arenado goes back to third base. Our boy, Jose Fernandez, going to first base. Got to keep that hot bat in the lineup.
There you go. Yep, I agree. And here's our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day. Of course, we are tag teaming, talking about Fernandez because it sets up very nicely. State 48 Roofing, you can call them right now. Get that free roof inspection and keep your roof looking sexy with State 48 Roofing. And here's all you have to do. Just go online. Visit state48roofing.com. Again, that's state48roofing.com. Or you can just call them at 480-268-4509. Okay. With third baseman Jose Fernandez having a great debut last night, what should be the third base situation? Well, Manuch already touched on it, but here is the question. 1, Nolan Arenado start, Jose at first base. 2, Jose start, Nolan platoon. 3, Jose start, Nolan DH. Or 4, you really misnumbered everything here, Manuch. I have no idea. You must have been on drugs or something.
Computer.
Blame it. Yeah, operator error. And 4, Jose start, Nolan to first base. So just go to Roc and Manuch on X and pick your poison, and we will continue to update you. How are you leaning?
And on Instagram as well, too.
Yes.
On Instagram. You know what? It's any of those would probably fit. But the way that Santana is playing right now or not hitting, I could probably lean more toward Arenado at third base and then Jose at first base to see how he handles it defensively.
Okay.
We know he got the bad. But then again, if you're going to give up the defense for the hitting, and we all know that it's pitching and hitting, pitching and fielding wins championships, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So any of these 4 could come into play. I don't know. I'm for right now, I'm letting it marinate. But it's a little more flavorful right now for me with Nolan Arenado starting at third and then maybe Jose going to first base. But let me Let me ponder that for the time being, then we'll get back to it.
Last night, the Suns were on the road, NBA game in Orlando to play against the Mavericks. Against the Magic. Thank you, Jimmy. When I talked to Manuch earlier this morning, he said, man, that was ugly. He said it was so disjointed. And I agree.
No flow.
No, there's no flow in the game at all. So many fouls that were called. And look, the game was close, at least score-wise, but still, I just felt that the Suns were like a fart in a windstorm. They were just all over the place.
I felt that's one good term, all over the place, disjointed. I thought they're kind of in cruise control. I think they stepped up when they had to step up. Again, when you give up 70 points to the Magic, I know they're a solid team to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Charo,
not a great team, but they're an NBA Eastern Conference playoff.
But they score only 21 points in that first quarter.
Yeah.
And they looked, I don't know what everyone to call it, disheveled, disjointed, out of sorts.
Lousy.
And then in the fourth quarter, only scored 17 points, as close as it was, Jimmy.
Yeah.
To score 17. Now, they were down by, 12, 13 at one time.
Right.
They made the run. They got a couple key shots, big shots from Jordan Goodwin, and Gillespie, who's still, I think, in a little bit of a funk. But I don't know. It was kind of like, we're in the 7th position. We can't game. We can't lose. We're in the play-in. Let's play hard. I didn't seem a very motivated team on a back-to-back game.
Okay.
And I get it's back-to-back. I understand that. But it was nice to see Grayson Allen after not playing the night before in there. But you just can't. That's the Orlando Magic. You allow 70 points in one half.
Yeah.
And I know that Tim Kempton, who is going to be joined by us at 1:30 from Charlotte, he used to say, if you're giving up 60 points in a half, the likelihood of you in a game, you can win, but it's a struggle when you have to match that night in and night out.
Manuch, I'm going to say something now, and it's going to be very unpopular with Sun fans, and I get it. I understand it. But I'm to the point now where it seems like if you're going to the Basketball Hall of Fame, you no longer have to be great. All you have to be is really good. And I saw Amari Stoudemire, and that's wonderful for him. It's great. And I love it for the fact for him, and he had a terrific career with the Suns. But Manuch, when he got to New York, he was hurt all the time, and never got them into the playoffs. Never did anything. Got the Suns into the playoffs, but didn't he play with a guy who was 2-time MVP? Steve Nash? Should have been three.
Now also, let me add to that, he had the microfracture surgeries here as well too.
Yes,
which really curtailed his career.
Yeah.
Hampered it, curtailed it.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
All right.
I might actually concur with you on this one.
All right. Wow. A Suns fan. Wow. Yeah. But I look, he was really good. I mean, really, really
good. For a short period of time.
Yes, but he wasn't great. And greatness is Kareem. Greatness is Wilt. Greatness is MJ. Greatness is Elgin Baylor. I mean, the greatness spews out of. Greatness is the Joker. The Joker's the best player on the planet. And right now, I'm to the point now where it seems that everybody should just line up if you are a really good player and you are going to get into the Hall of Fame.
It's interesting you bring that up. I felt that Amari was on the high rise of that proverbial hybrid center.
Yeah.
He was that, I think, one of the few hybrid centers that could play the 5 and 4 at a combination level, especially with Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less. Mm-hmm. And he was really, really on his way when you really looked at some of the things that he could do or was really destined for greatness. But to your point, the microfracture surgeries really slowed him down. They really got him to a point where he was I'm going to say pedestrian. He could still go to the rack. He could still jump a little bit. He really had to rely on his defense. He had that little, 5 to 10 foot jumper that he developed.
Right.
And Coach Weber, who was here, we should get him on our show all the time. He was the assistant coach for Mike D'Antoni. So that developed over the 2 or 3 years that you saw Amari Stoudemire's career. So when you look at his overall stats, here's his stats over his career. 846 games, average 18.9 points per game. Let's just say 19.
Okay.
Total rebounds per game, 7.8, and assists 1.2. Now, field goal percentage, 53%. Field goal for threes, about 23%. Free throw percentage, 76%. And then you kind of look at it from, some of the other things that are there, probably middle of the road to above middle of the road. So those are his stats on par when you look at 846 games. I would say a good, solid center, but I concur with you, Jimmy. I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy to have. And I think the only problem is the knee injuries.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
And I don't know if they say, well, he would have been. Well, you can't go on would have been. It's pretty much what have you done over a long period of time, what kind of greatness, what kind of consistency. So when I heard this last night, I was surprised as well, too, because I thought about once he moved on, with the Knicks, with the Heat, he really didn't do.
No.
I mean, he played solid. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, no. He was good, but he wasn't great. And for me, when you talk about Halls of Fame, MLB, NHL, NBA, I want to talk about greatness, and his name just doesn't come up in that category.
When you look at his just real quick, when he was with the Knicks, the Mavericks, and the Heat, he was basically only averaging about, it looks like, right about 10.5 points per game.
Right.
It looks like rebounds per game were right around 4 on average. So those numbers started to diminish, obviously. His last year with the Heat, 2015, 2016, he played 52 games.
Yeah.
Averaged about 15 minutes a game, averaged about 6 points a game, field goal percentage about 56, so a lot of shots around the rim, but rebounding about 4.3 per game. So even at the very end, he was serviceable. I got to believe he was more of a backup role those last couple of years.
I think you're right.
But when he was here, he was off the charts.
He was tremendous.
He was tremendous.
Yep.
He fit the system. But when you start getting those microfracture surgeries, you could really start to see him slow down, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they end up trading him.
That is our first segment. We have given you everything that we have. A quick update on the Major League Baseball game. Still 1-0 in favor of the D-backs. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into our replay rewind. We're just getting started, everybody. We roll until 4 o'clock. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Ron for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Think you can handle a few drinks and still drive safely? Think again. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving. Even one drink can cost you thousands in fines and legal fees. Plus, take away your driver's license. So plan ahead. Use a designated driver or rideshare. Get the facts at drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Now it's time for our Replay Rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We rock you like a wagon wheel, which is always fun. At least I always think it's fun. We're going to get you now to our Replay Rewind. And, of course, it's all about some guy named Fernandez. Manuch, in fact, I'm going to sit out, Manuch. Introduce this in Spanish because this is really cool, a debut for a young player.
Mi amigo Jose Fernandez, debut de partido de béisbol y Diamondbacks, más muy importante. His first one is solo. Home run, mi bottom at the 4 innings.
The pitch is long on that is hit out to deep left field. This one's on its way. There it goes. Have a debut, Jose Fernandez. It's his first major league homer, and there's your spark. Diamondbacks on the board. It's 5-1.
And mi amigo, es muy importante in the infield as well as another. At the third base, the double play is the Marte Dito is the top of the 6.
The 0-2 is on the ground left side. Fernandez has it. Goes to second. There's one. Marte to first. That's 2. Inning ending 5-4-3 double play.
Esa, mi amigo, in the bottom of the 8th. Esta la y 3, así, 13. 3-run home run. Esta y 7-5 por the Diamondbacks.
Swung on and barreled. High and deep. Left center field. Green looking up. She's gone! Jose Fernandez, his second home run of the game, gives the Diamondbacks a 7-5 lead.
Estefanito, Paul Sewald, más muy importante de Colosa Hayes, de strikeout, y ASU alumni, y Torkelson por the top of the 9th.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sewald in the 9th.
There you go, Jimmy B.
I appreciate that,
Nothing
pal.
but a thing.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I gave it to you, pal. That was excellent.
I always love a chance to throw that
I know you
Spanish in
do.
there once
Yeah,
in a while.
I know.
Thank you, Mrs. Vlahos.
I just suck.
Freshman Spanish 101.
I understand. I understand more when you're saying than I can speak. That's why I let you do it. Let us get then to the post-game comments. Here's the skipper after the game on Jose Fernandez.
What a good moment for this team, for this organization, for all the people that have been around Jose, kept pushing him, teaching him, and then ultimately it falls on Jose to go out there and let it all shine. And he deserves all this credit, and we're so proud of him. He's a player that came through our system, through our academy, and it's just a great story. It's a great baseball story. And we've known about Jose for a long time. We knew he was coming. Came out really strong last year. A very versatile player defensively, can barrel up the baseball, was starting to shrink the zone up. Showed that patience and that confidence, and got this opportunity, made the most of it. So, we all celebrate with him today, and he deserves it. So they're in there right now, and I had to tear myself away from all the good times. We deserve those good times for some of the things that we go through and the hardships that we go through to get to this point. I want them to enjoy this moment with Jose. So special moment for him, and we end up winning a baseball game.
Okay, so now here is Fernandez as we skip down a couple here, but we're using the translator, what it felt like to get that go-ahead home run.
I returned to my days as a kid, just a dream come true, just kind of what you remember transporting you back as a kid.
See, I would have just played Fernandez in Spanish, Manuch, and then have you translate. That's what I would do.
It's interesting. I did see some of the post game last night, and I did pick up some of what he was saying. At the term Nino, as a kid. I mean, this young man, very mature for 22 years old. I mentioned earlier, 6'3", about 165 pounds, very strong for his size. Strong hands, quick hands. Mm-hmm. And if there's one thing that they really emphasize, and that Troy talked about at the academy, not only the fielding, the running is the bat speed.
Right.
They emphasize that bat speed, boy. And he turned on a couple and just went, well, that kid, if he can stay healthy, could be a really fine major leaguer for many years to come.
Okay, so the Suns were in action last night on the other coast, on the east area, in Florida, beautiful Orlando, playing against the Magic. It was a totally disjointed kind of game. Didn't really have any flow to it whatsoever. It was a tightly contested game, but the Magic found a way to win it.
We'll bring it up on offense with 5.5 to play. 49-41 Magic. Vancaro blows past Fleming, gets to the rim for the jam in traffic. And to the delight of the Magic crowd here at Kia Center, they're back up 10.
He's a really good player. By the way, all of these highlights, thank you to Arizona Sports.
He just brings it.
He does.
I mean, you watch him, the games I've watched him, he's always kind of steady.
Yeah.
He plays hard and just a phenomenally talented individual.
Let's get down to Book. He, again, was lighting it up. Now he has career 18,000 points.
Royce O'Neal to inbound on the far side. Gives a fake to his left, then fires to Booker. He'll try a three on the left wing. And by that three, with 3.1 seconds left, cuts it to a 2-point game, 113 to 111. And Devin Booker hits 18,000 points for his career with that three. He's got 34 tonight.
But they end up losing that game. So today was a off day. They are now in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they have a date against the Hornets, who, by the way, are playing very good basketball. Tim Kempton is going to be our guest coming up in roughly about 8 minutes from right now. So let us go down, because I wanted to make sure that we did a little hockey. And I know that we don't have the team here anymore, and both Manuch and I and Rock, we love hockey. But there is something going on in the NHL, and it's with Alex Ovechkin, who plays for the Washington Capitals. 20 straight seasons. He is the LeBron James of the NHL. 20 straight seasons scoring 30 goals or more.
McMichael slams on the brakes, feeds it to the interior. There's Roy. One more, goes down. Bring it on around for Chychrun. Down low, Ovechkin. Diving Washington back into a 2-goal lead.
Capitals end up winning that game. Thank you to MMS TV for that. Those highlights of Ovechkin. I'm telling you, Manuch, I don't know what's in the water, but Tom Brady did it. He won a Super Bowl. He's over 40. LeBron's trying to win an NBA title. He's over 40. And here is Ovechkin, who's 40 as well, hoping to try to win a Stanley Cup.
Jimmy, these guys, 40 is the new 35.
I'm with you.
Because these guys, if you look at, you talked about Brady, you look at his workout routine, his diet, his rest, how he took care of his body for so many years. Ovechkin's the same way. Mm-hmm. They say he's a workout phenom. And watching the highlights last night, they say his miles per hour velo on his shot is like 20. I mean, I can't imagine what it looked like it was 130. Oh, they said it's close to 90 to 95 now.
Yeah.
When you watch him on TV, I mean, the way he winds up and shoots the puck, I mean, it comes off his puck it's lethal.
Oh, absolutely.
Off. But the other thing you notice is he still skates so well. Mm-hmm. And so when you take care of your body and you're focused on your game and you look to be the best you can, you're going to see a lot of guys playing longer into their career. Aaron Rodgers is another one. Talk about Ovechkin. Look at LeBron James.
Yep.
You look at Brady. If you take care of your body and you get your proper diet, you get your like I said, if you just take care of yourself, you can play a long time.
Yeah.
But when I watch Ovechkin, doesn't look like he's missed a beat the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years
He's
at all.
Tremendous goal scorer, absolute tremendous goal scorer. That is today's Replay Rewind presented by Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, just make one call. 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com. Once again, Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. 602-977-1900. When we come back, it's the Suns. Off day today. They have a date in Charlotte against the Hornets tomorrow. Last night, a nail-biter, but found a way to lose in Orlando against the Magic. Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton coming up next. First, let's get you to an ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. It's getaway day at Chase Field as the Arizona Diamondbacks are looking for a sweep of the Detroit Tigers after they mounted an impressive 7-5 comeback win last night thanks to Jose Fernandez's 2 home runs in his MLB debut. First pitch this afternoon was at 1:10 as Zach Gallen got the start for the D-backs, while Tigers ace Tarek Skubal got the ball for Detroit. The Diamondbacks currently lead the Tigers 1-0 after a first-inning solo shot by Corbin Carroll. As it stands, this game is heading to the top of the 4th inning, and we will continue to bring you updates as this one rolls along. Here's your perfect national championship plan. Get to DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale early and catch us live from 1 to 4 p.m. Then don't move because the Natty kicks off right after. One great spot, one great day. We will see you there. DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. Tim Kempton will join the guys next.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today. When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org. Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Most pedestrian and bicycle crashes happen early morning or at night. The leading cause? Drivers failing to yield. Since 2010, traffic fatalities for people walking and biking have doubled in Arizona. So stay alert and watch for bicycles and pedestrians. There's no such thing as accidents. Learn more about the risks at azdot.gov/no accidents. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Screen time's over.
Be home by 11?
Put your phone down while we're eating.
When parents set boundaries, keep track of where their kids go, and talk to them about the dangers of underage drinking and drugs, they keep their kids safe. Visit TalkNowAZ.com. Be the influence. Talk early. Talk often. Talk now.
Thanks. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
This message is sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
And he'll bring it back the other way. Throws to Rasheer Fleming ahead of the crowd for the two-hand flush. Fleming just burst of speed to get past everyone in white, and he gets to the rim to give the Suns their first lead of the night.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. A loss last night in Orlando, back-to-back games in Memphis, and then against the Magic last night. We welcome in Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton. Always fun when Timmy's on the show. You can find him on X at SunsTK. Again, that's at SunsTK. Welcome, Tim. Look, we both watched the game, Manuch and I, and I just felt the game was disjointed. Is that a fair assessment? It just didn't seem to have a lot of flow to it. Did you see it or not?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, partially due to the play and partially the way the game was officiated. There were a ton of calls and a ton of free throws, so you could never get into a rhythm going up and down. And, you know, I even said it on air that it just didn't seem smooth last night. It was, you know, they'd make one or two good plays and then they'd make a turnover. Obviously, the defense of Orlando had an effect on them, but they had a bunch of turnovers early on. So, yeah, they just couldn't get into a rhythm until that third quarter. That was about the only quarter that they played really well, came back from 14 down at halftime, tied the game up. They looked good after the third quarter, but, yeah, it was patchy. The officiating was kind of wonky, and their play wasn't the best to go along with all that.
You know, Tim, it's the first half hour I'm headed out to go train the quarterbacks from like 5 to 5:30. I'm listening to you and John, and I'm listening kind of, you know, as you guys are getting settled in, and all of a sudden you go, a technical for what? and so, you know, as you were explaining, you did a good job because I got home, I watched a replay. All it was looked like Banchero and Dylan Brooks were just jawing back and forth. I didn't say anything physical, whatever, but that official was kind of like in front of him. What was the main reason for the T? Did he say the magic word to Banchero? What was the reason for the T?
Yeah, not really. When you got two players drawing at each other,
yeah,
and we even talked about it back in the day. You know, back in the day, the official, you know, they come over, they say, okay, Johnson, knock it off.
Yeah.
Kempton, knock it off.
Yeah.
But you guys, enough of this. But again, I've said this multiple times. When we played, officials officiated the game with communication as well as the whistle.
Sure.
All these guys do today is react. So back in the day, you know, you're sitting there, and I've had this conversation with you guys before. Hey, Kempton, get out of the lane, or Kempton, let him run, quit holding on to him. And then they blew the whistle, and you look at him, he goes, I told you. And then you don't have those scrums around the officials either, because every time you blow a whistle in the NBA, a player goes, what did I do? What did I do? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Where back in the day, the officials were talking to you the whole time, telling you what you were doing or what you weren't doing. And that's why the whistle. So there wasn't all this other thing. This whole idea of reactionary officiating, to me, is really a big part of why the game is so hard to watch. And it brings in a ton of the inconsistency. You know, the same thing in football. As a defensive back or a wide receiver, you want to know what kind of contact is going to be, you know, called or not called as you go down the field in a pass pattern. But just be consistent the whole night. And that's a big part of the NBA. You have no idea what's a foul, what's not a foul, you know, and the same thing with the chirping. You know, it's just, they were just chirping each other. Just stop, blow the whistle. Hey, you guys, knock it off.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, because not only that, now you've created a little bit of, you know, of a confrontation between the players and now the coaches. You know, if you do it, you go over to the coach and say, hey, I told them to knock it off. That's why well, if you don't tell them to knock it off, then the coaches are like, you know, they're upset too. They're like, what's going on? What are you guys doing?
And I think I think that's only as well as that happens. I can't imagine those officials in the National Football League, Tim. The chirping that goes on, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's words I grew up in there in Phoenix, in Tempe. I didn't hear those.
Hadn't heard those, huh?
The other one, too, you pointed out, I remember the specific play, And you said, well, you're going to get that when a guy's camping out 8 seconds in the lane. Mm-hmm. So I watched that play again on TV. Literally, I gave it a 5 count. I counted 5 Mississippi. To your point, again, all you were asking was just consistency when guys literally are camping out in the lane like that.
Yeah, as a defender, you're behind the 8 ball anyway. So, they've got you locked down there. You're trying to move around. He's got his arm locked up, and you're like, what more can I can't do anything. The guy's camped in the leg. It's supposed to be a 3 seconds count, and then he's got my arms wrapped up. It's just, the frustration level of how to play defense, and then the other thing that you talk about as an offensive player, just run into a defender. Just run into them and act like you're shooting, because the defender has to play absolutely perfect. We talk about the jargon all the time. Legal and illegal guarding position. Go to any official in the NBA and have them tell you what it is. What's legal guarding position? What is illegal guarding position? And it's one of those things. Well, I can't tell you, but I'll call it in the game, and I'll use it to base my call on the play.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Okay, so they are in the play-in tournament. We know that. Are they thinking about that, Tim, at all? I mean, I kind of felt that after they had a lackadaisical effort in Memphis against no names and then pulled away in the fourth quarter, and then what we saw last night, they really, meaning the Suns, really can't change their positioning, correct?
Yeah, well, let's talk. Hey, listen, Memphis is playing well. You look at the way that, there's a bunch of no names, but I've been in that situation before. Those guys are playing for their NBA life.
Okay.
Listen, they may not be first liners, but they're talented players. So, to say the Suns, that was a little bit of a dogfight the first three quarters, and then the Suns. I thought the Suns played extremely well in that game because, listen, first game on the road, Memphis just came off a beating by Toronto. Not Memphis. They had just beaten Chicago.
Yep.
So they're feeling a little good about themselves. And, it's just one of those situations. You run into a team that's playing with house money. There's nothing on the line for them but to go out and play hard and play for their careers. So I thought the Suns took care of business in Memphis, and then you have a back-to-back. You lose an hour, you get in late to Orlando. And Orlando, the same thing. They're playing for positioning in the play-in as well. So I think the Suns have actually played pretty well over the last 4 games, getting bodies back and getting on the same page. And last night, I thought that was one of those situations where you get Dylan Brooks back. You have a fourth quarter situation, you're in a tight battle, you're going back and forth, and Jordan Knott has not had his players available to figure all this stuff out. Last night was the first game where they had both the start. Well, they had Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green along with Devin Booker, but being that Mark Williams is out, they still have only had their starting 5 together on the floor for a total of 6 minutes or 7 minutes this entire season. So Jordan Knott is still trying to figure out, end of game, end of quarter, end of half, end of game situations. And last night was an example, and it didn't go well. So, frustrating without a doubt. But it's also some things that, the Suns are trying to figure out late into the season because they haven't had the personnel to do it early on.
And I think for Suns fans, Tim, it sounds like the Suns need to play it out hard, find that formula, find that chemistry these last 6 games, and not coast, as Jimmy alluded, not I'd say coast, but just with the 6 games, you're already in your regular position. Can you lose it or can you gain it? Probably isn't going to happen. But it sounds like Jordan wants to play it out hard and find that chemistry going into the play-in game.
Oh, without a doubt. When you're in the play-in situation, it's like, hey, just what did Herm Edwards say? You play to win the game, and your record is, they're a play-in team. So there are things that they need to have to figure out. They're talented, but they've got to play it to a certain level to be successful. And part of that is playing hard and playing together, for full 48 minutes. So, yeah, I think the Suns are doing a really good job. I mean, the player development of Kamal Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, and the continued growth of, Oso and Ryan Dunn, along with all those other guys. This has been a tough season for a rookie head coach, and for him to get to, the 40-plus wins in a season where all the experts said they weren't even going to get to 30. I think the coaching staff and the players have done a phenomenal job. The expectations were not even here, so now they're here. All of a sudden, everybody's changing the expectations on them.
Absolutely. Okay, take me then quickly to tomorrow night's game. A Charlotte Hornets team that was dreadful in the first half of the season. They made some adjustments with their starting lineup, and now they are one of the better teams in the East. How do you see this?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Perfect scenario. They've gotten better as they've gone along. Obviously, Con Knipple, a phenomenal rookie, is in there. They had to see how he would play in the thing. So the Suns have a battle on their hand. They're going to have to go out there and play well. The nice thing is, we got to Charlotte today. They'll be pretty rested in the NBA timeline and ready to go. So I'm looking forward to a good game tomorrow night.
Always good, pal, when you call us and we talk to you about NBA basketball. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, guys. Great talking to you.
There you go. That's Tim Kempton, everybody. Once again, you can find him on X at Suns TK. He is the Suns radio analyst. Brought to you today by Biggs American Bar and Grill in Peoria, which brings you always great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. It's one of the best viewing spots in the Valley. It's Biggs, the P83 district, right across from the Peoria Sports Complex. Once again, Biggs American Bar and Grill, P83 district, right there at 83rd and Bell Road. All right, a quick break. When we come back, more Roc and Manuch on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and the Arizona Sports app.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat. The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops to get fit for the new Ping I-540 irons and G740 irons. The new Ping I-540 distance irons deliver more speed for more distance with stopping power. The G740 Super Game Improvement irons launch higher for more distance, more forgiveness, and more consistency. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like.
Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse. Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota On This Day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Updating you on the Diamondbacks and Tigers right now in the top of the fifth inning. Still 1-0 in favor of the D-backs. We'll update as the game goes on. Manuch, let's do a little on this day.
Well, if you guys forgot, it's April 1st. April Fools. And this is probably one of the better pranks or April Fools jokes by any major leaguer going back to 2012.
Okay.
Cardinals' Lance Berkman plays an April Fool's prank on teammate Adam Wainwright. So before the third inning of a Grapefruit League game, Wainwright's white Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck is driven on the warning track at Roger Dean Stadium as the public address announcer states that it will be given away.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember this.
A stunned Wainwright watches from the bench as the supposed prize winners, a father and son, climb into the bed of the truck when it stops in front of the home dugout. Let me just paint the picture.
Yeah.
Comes on the field.
Yep.
The announcer names the winners.
Yep.
It's a father and son. They get in back of the truck. Okay, you follow me there?
Yeah, I got you.
So they climb into the bed of the truck. When it stops in front of the home dugout, and Berkman, who is driving, pokes his head out of the window, waves to everyone, and drives away.
I remember.
Wainwright, I remember this. Wainwright said, "What are you talking about? That's my truck.
That's my truck." Yeah.
And the guys in the dugout go, "Well, we just gave it away. We figured you knew what was going on."
Oh, God.
He was so perplexed with that one there. So. Happy April Fools, those folks that are out there. So there's a little on this day going back to 2012. The pranks in pro sports.
Oh, they're great.
Are immense.
Yep.
So Adam Wainwright, knowing it's April 1st, was taken to the cleaners on that one.
Oh, God, that's a good one. And I do remember now that you brought that to everybody's attention.
Driving away.
Hey,
thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
These guys will love your truck.
We're out of here. Let's do a little football at 50. There's lots to get into. It is presented today by Victory Plumbing Arizona. Hey, look, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it right. That's Victory Plumbing. They offer upfront pricing before the work even begins. So there are no surprises when the work is finished. And when you mention the three really cool guys on the radio, that'd be us, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, they will waive the service charge. You heard me. No service charge. You can book your appointment right now. Just go online, victoryplumbingarizona.com. Once again, that's victoryplumbingarizona.com. Manuch.
Well, a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans are wondering what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Well, the latest thing is this. Steelers owner and team president Art Rooney II said yesterday, as the NFL owners, coaches, GMs, all wrapped up at the Biltmore, anticipates a decision from his four-time NFL via MVP about his future by next month's NFL draft. He says, quote, "I would say by the draft, I expect an answer, and at that time we'll be able to adjust." Now, as we know, the draft will be in Pittsburgh on April 21st. And then also on Monday, also talking about this, Steelers general manager Omar Khan also said, quote, "All positions are on the table." When asked if the team would consider drafting a quarterback to join the room, that includes 2025 sixth-round pick Will Howard and veteran backup Mason Rudolph, he said all things are on the table.
Interesting. Okay.
Also, in reference to the negotiations with the officiating, here's a National Football League Players Association statement on the officiating. Now, the director, J.C. Treader, voiced disapproval of the NFL's potential use of replacement officials in 2026.
Don't blame them.
Citing concerns for player safety. In a joint statement released by the NFLPA NFL Referees Association on Wednesday, he says, quote, they manage the game in real time, enforce the rules, and stop situations from escalating. That can't be replaced by less experienced crews or handled remotely. If player safety truly matters, trained professional officials on the field are not negotiable.
Interesting.
So the Players Association is in step with the officials, and he alluded to the one statement in reference to being officiated from afar, that if they do have the replacement officials, they're going to get help from New York. Every game is going to have people watching it. If they miss a call that's very egregious, they're going to buzz to them and say, throw a flag. If there's a flag that shouldn't be a flag, it sounds like they're going to buzz them down and say, pick up the flag. Jimmy, I can't see that going on for an entire game.
I'm with
for
you.
16 games, 16, 17 games, every week, week in and week out. And I agree with the Players Association. Look, it's more than just calling the right plays. It's, did this guy get clipped? Did this guy get chop blocked? Did this guy get hit above was this a horse collar? We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Officials got to be able to recognize everything in real time.
That's correct.
The NFL game is so fast. It's so quick. And I know right now they're contacting, that being the National Football League, a lot of college officials, experienced college officials, to see if they'd be available. Okay, I get it. But when you talk about, as a player, going from college to the National Football League, I'll give you the gear perspective.
Okay.
It's like going from second gear in college to fifth gear in the National Football League. That's how quick it is. That's how the decision-making has to be. So they're in lockstep with everything in reference to these guys trying to bring this together. They don't want replacements on the field going, well, you missed this call or missed that call.
Right.
And I get it, the safety, the concern, but the real-time decisions, and then also slowing the game down to get, okay, that was...
It'll be horrible if they're buzzing those guys all the time.
And it is. I just wish the owners... and then we get together and get this thing knocked out, because you don't want any kind of the safety or bad calls that could come back to haunt you on a missed call. You lose a game. Well, that one bad call and lost game could cost you a wild card spot.
All right, I'll reiterate what I asked you yesterday, because you even said to me, that's an excellent point. I almost fell off the chair because you never say anything nice about me. I should have. And my point was if you're on offense and you are driving and you're trying to get into field goal position, and on the defense, it's a clear offside, and they sack your quarterback and take you out of field goal position, but there's no flag on the play. What in the wide world of sport is going to happen?
So this is what they'll probably go back on. What's reviewable, what's not reviewable. I understand the concept.
Yep.
And that's a great analogy. All of a sudden, you've got it's 3rd and 8, and you're at the 45-yard line, and your guy gets sacked because the defensive end jumped off sides.
Right.
The official missed it, and you're yelling and barking and screaming. I don't think you can challenge that. The only thing I could think of, and these are some of the questions that are going to be raised, is if that's that egregious, can New York buzz down to the official and say, you missed it, that's offside? It's a free play.
So it's a free play?
Well,
or would they have to replay the play?
Quarterback's going to think it's a free play, but if he goes, hey, no big deal if I throw it or not, I know I'm going to get the penalty.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get the penalty, he gets sacked. All of a sudden, it's a 57-yard field goal. Then there's going to be some splaining to do.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's, at this point, just get the officials their new contract.
Just get it done.
Just take care of it.
Coming up in hour number 2, it's our campus quickies, ASU, U of A, NAU. We have all of that for you on the way in hour number 2. Hey, it's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD2, also on the Arizona Sports app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job. I lost my wife. I lost the house. I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio. I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now, that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
The best in women's college basketball, the brightest stars in the game. And for the very first time, it's happening in the desert. The NCAA Women's Final Four is coming to Phoenix. 4 days of free family fun with tailgates, a concert, viewing parties, and more. April 2nd through 5th in downtown Phoenix. Free events, all ages, all weekend. NCAA.com/Women's Final Four.
Volunteering brings us together across generations and backgrounds. When you volunteer, something powerful happens. Differences fade away. We come together around one shared purpose, lifting each other up. It starts with seeing a need and choosing to step up. Arizona needs leaders. Arizona needs you. Visit serve.az.gov to explore volunteer opportunities across Arizona. Sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks.
And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters. And Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
There's a party downtown near 50. Everybody at the parking tips.
All right, everybody, we are back, and we roll all the way till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The getaway game is in progress downtown at the Yard, Chase Field. Right now it is the Diamondbacks and the Detroit Tigers. We can tell you it is 1-0 D-backs, and they have moved into the top of the 6th inning. So Zach Gallen is doing what everybody hoped that Manuch that he would do.
Yeah, I think there are a couple things when you look at here, Jimmy, is a pitcher's duel, right?
Yeah.
Early on, here we are, and you're into your 6th game of the year, and you're hoping to sweep the Detroit Tigers, went to the playoff. Yeah, you look at Zach Gallen, and we're just curious if he's going to come out for another inning. In 5 innings pitched, only 3 hits. Had the 2 strikeouts, 78 pitches, not bad for the 5 innings. And then there's Scooble, the Kingman Flash from Kingman, Arizona. He's pitched 5 innings, giving up 5 hits. Giving up the 1 run, had the 2 strikeouts. A little more effective. He's pitched 7. He's had 7 pitches so far. And as we were watching Zach Gallen, he still looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So for all intents and purposes, it looks like that. I would think. I think early on, your 6th game of the year, you got 2 of the top pitchers. You got the Cy Young Award winner twice, back to back, going for his 3rd in Scooble, And then Zach Gallen really looking for a guy to try to prove to himself, coming back out on the bump for the 6th inning. Love seeing these early duels going on.
I like it, and it's a beautiful day. The roof is open, big crowd on hand. I think the entire town of Kingman is there.
I've only known one other player that came from Kingman. He played with me at Mesa Community College in baseball.
Okay.
I forget his name. Outstanding baseball player. But we would get some of those outstanding baseball players from Globe Miami, from Kingman, from Safford. So there's outstanding baseball players, but this kid, I mean, Scuba was a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big player. What's he, 6'4", 6'5"?
He's a big guy.
Big guy, but you love seeing these early, I guess, confrontation or duels for a guy that's a Cy Young Award winner. And then here's Zach Gallen right now just doing an outstanding job of just kind of holding this Tigers team at bay.
There you go. Once again, getaway day, 1-0, and they are playing in the top of the 6th inning.
Hey, just real quick, Laz, as you look at this game, want to go to it, they've got Jose Fernandez at first base today. Love seeing that. Matter of fact, it kind of plays into our State 4A Roofing It's Your Call question today. Laz, hold that real quick. I want you to go with that because this kind of fits in to what we were talking about just a little bit earlier, Jimmy.
All right. So my esteemed colleague came up with this because he felt that it was going to be extremely relevant today. Unfortunately, he hit the nail on the head. So he was absolutely right. Here is the State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. With third baseman Jose Fernandez having a great debut last night, what should be the third base situation today? Here are your options. 1, Nolan start there, meaning Nolan Arenado and Jose Fernandez at first. 2, Jose starts, Nolan platoon. Jose starts, this is number 3, Nolan DH. And number 4, Jose starts, Nolan to first base. So, Manuch, let's go to Laz. Laz, this is a situation. We gave it out. You can vote on it on X and also Instagram. So what happened then in the lineup before the game began?
So Jose Fernandez is playing first base, which I didn't know he could do because he's a shortstop at trait by position. So if he can play shortstop and he's a good defender at third base, but you can also platoon him at first base, that's going to be big for the D-backs because although Arenado's bat hasn't been hot yet, which he did get a hit today, he's, a multi-time Gold Glover over at third base. So I think if you can keep him at third base for the defense, that helps, but you want to get Fernandez's bat in there while he's hot. So if he can play shortstop or first or third, I think it gives Torrey some good options. So I think he doesn't mind having that problem.
Yeah, and Carlos Santana's hitting 0.67 right now. He's an outstanding fielder, but he's not even close to the Mendoza line. And you ask, what's the Mendoza line? Well, if you're not hitting above 200, that is below the Mendoza line. And there's a long story about that, about a former player named Mendoza. Hell of a shortstop.
Mario Mendoza.
Mario Mendoza, but he could not hit above 200.
Manuch,
very effective.
Yeah, he was a terrific fielder. I was calling Texas Rangers games in the 80s, and he was their shortstop. And that is how the Mendoza line got, I guess, the moniker that it has now, because that was his batting average.
Well, there's a couple that were like, I remember Ed Brinkman, shortstop for the Tigers.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah.
Del Maxfield, the shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ozzie Smith was just barely above the Mendoza line, but phenomenal. There's been second baseman, shortstop, most of your middle fielders that were those guys. But it's very interesting because we talked about this a little bit. Marte's DHing today.
Mm-hmm.
So you looked at the infield last night. You had Fernandez at third base, Perdomo at short, Marte at second, and then you had Santana at first base. And DHing was Marino was the DH. So you had an all Dominican infield in the game. So today, when you take a look at it, you got, again, an all-Dominican aside from Arenado at third base, Fernandez at first base, Vargas at second base, Marino's catching, Perdomo at shortstop, Marte the DH, and then basically and you got Nolan Arenado at third base. Just goes to show you how far, and we've always known the Dominicans have been outstanding baseball players.
Always have been.
And the one thing I'd asked, we had Renee Latchman on last year. We're going to get Latch on again, the former manager for the Mariners and for the A's for many, many years. And I said, what is it about these Dominicans, the way that they grow up and they show signs of maturity and they're strong? And he said, look, they come through these academies that are set up with a lot of Major League Baseball teams, whether it be in Venezuela, Dominican Republic, wherever it might be, that really help develop these kids. And they're doing this, they go to school, and then they do this year-round, 365 a year, weights, diet, fielding, and they play a lot of baseball. So when you see a kid like Fernandez come up, he looked really good at the plate. So far today, I haven't really had a chance to watch him since we're doing the show, but he's 0 for 2. And the thing with him is, once he goes around the league the first, 6 months, Jimmy, let's say the first 3 months, how do they pitch him the second time around? How does he adjust as a young 22-year-old player that can rake it any particular time? So, but when you see that, you see the production, those are some of the things you want to see if this young man can grow as they get the book on him as a hitter.
That's that book, by the way, is extremely important.
They don't miss a beat.
They do not. And once they get the book on you, then things change dramatically. But right now, this is his time to really shine, and he did in his Major League debut last night. Look, I'm watching the game, and it's 5-0. Detroit puts up the runs, and they're cruising along. And then they get to that 6th inning, and all hell breaks loose. It was 5-1, and bang, and Fernandez comes up big, and the rest is history. And it was a nice win for the D-backs in last night's game.
Well,
Right?
they tried to get a couple fastballs by him.
Yes.
And if you're a young player, you're probably sitting on a fastball because these guys throw sliders, change up, backdoor slider, sinker, splitter, all the above. I mean, and so he just sat back, and on both those home runs, those were Reggie Jackson used to call them home run high fastballs, right around the waist, and he took them deep. And then his other base hit was a solid shot to the left side and left field. So again, that 5th inning, I mean, to your point, things just exploded.
Yep.
For them to come back and win that game and to go get the kind of runs that they needed to, but also, Jimmy, the clutch runs, the clutch hits that they came for. And we always bemoan the effect, well, how many runners did they leave on? They always leave on so many runners on base. Last night, D-backs only left 3 runners on base the entire night.
They capitalized is what they did.
Runners in scoring position, they were 4 for 9, almost 50%.
Yeah.
So they got the beat, they got their groove on the reliever, pretty much on Vest, and they pretty much lit him and Jansen up. How about Jansen? I mean, he was with the Dodgers, 3 years ago? And
he's bumped around, though, the last couple of years. He has.
And he's still an outstanding pitcher, but they got some key hits off of him. They win that game going away. Great comeback for them to be down 5-0, as you mentioned.
Tiger Woods is back in the news, and unfortunately, it's all for the wrong reasons. And we know what happened. He has gotten approval, or at least his attorney has, from the judge in Florida to leave the country. He's going to go do some rehab work, most likely in Europe. And the judge granted that. And to be honest with you, Manuch, I understand the reasoning. It was because of who he is, that everybody would be following him around, trying to get a glimpse of him at a rehab facility. If he goes to Europe, he's got a much better chance of being anonymous somewhat and not having to deal with that.
I'm just happy he's going to go get treatment.
I am too.
I mean, when this all broke last week, my first thought was, okay, hopefully nobody else got hurt.
Right.
Hopefully Tiger didn't get hurt. That nobody got hurt, thank God. Okay. And that this is the third time where there's been well, we know for a fact where there have been narcotics involved. This one, allegedly the same thing. But when they frisk you and they find 2 hydrocodone pills in your pocket, they know something's up. I'm glad that he realizes, look, I need help. I got to get cleaned up. My health is priority, not only for myself, but for my family. I don't care where he goes, to Alaska, Siberia, Europe, wherever. Don't worry about whether you're recognizable or not. Go get your help. Go get your treatment. Brett Favre had to go through this. There's been a lot of people that have had to go through it when they get hooked on the narcotics.
Yeah.
And the pain meds, guys in a lot of pain, obviously. Coming back with a lot of the leg, all the issues he's had to deal with. But I think what they want to do, number one, and I've known several people have gone through this. Number one is you got to clean your system.
Okay.
That is the hardest part for a meth addict, drug addict, alcoholic, you name it, that they've got to go. They've got to be sober and clean. There's ways that they go ahead and adjust to that. Because the term cold turkey, it's literally cold turkey. But it's getting the mental aspect of your life down and the physical aspect. And this is going to take a long time. Just because you're there for 30 or 45 days doesn't mean you stop rehabbing when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what I know for a fact is they give you checklists day in and day out, what you need to do, how you need to do, how to change your thinking, and how to get healthy and help without the narcotics, without the drugs, what have you. So I'm just happy he's going to go do that for himself, number one, for his family, number two. And I think that when he comes back, he'll have a better perspective and obviously help himself relieve that pain that he's in on a constant basis.
And he is obviously in constant pain. There's absolutely no question. Look, I watched some of the TGL a couple nights back when he played. He was hitting the ball really well.
Sure, you would never know.
Yeah.
You would never know he's in pain.
Never. No, and then all of a sudden this happened. So you made
best of luck to him.
Yes, you made a great statement about, fortunately, nobody was injured. But get yourself a driver.
Yeah.
Good God, man, you're a billionaire. You can afford to pay a guy $200 a year just to be your driver at any beck and time.
And I think there's a lot of lessons learned from that, because they tell you do not drive a vehicle under the influence of narcotics. But prescribed or not prescribed.
Yeah, exactly. The Suns are on the road. They lost last night in Orlando. They get today off. They will play the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. We're going to dive into the Suns game and a lot more with the Suns as we continue. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party? Office celebration? Family reunion? Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
977-1900. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people, with upfront pricing before the work starts, so there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops to get fit for the new Ping I-540 irons and G740 irons. The new Ping I-540 distance irons deliver more speed for more distance with stopping power. The G740 Super Game Improvement irons launch higher for more distance, more forgiveness, and more consistency. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Mania is here, and there's only one place to catch every buzzer beater, every upset, every bracket buster. Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with made-from-scratch favorites and the ultimate game day atmosphere, featuring Michelob Ultra all tournament long. Whether your bracket's still perfect or completely busted, Twin Peaks is your headquarters for the madness. Join us at any of the 5 Valley locations: Deer Valley, Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Tempe. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
That's good, man. You get a tech in the first minute.
Within the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely on brand. He started off. I feel like he woke both teams up to start the game. It could have been a reason the game was ugly all the way through.
Here's what I like best. If you listen to the very beginning of that, when he said, got a tech in the first 2 minutes, it's on brand. That's Devin Booker from last night. After the loss. That was funny.
It's kind of like what'd you expect?
Yeah.
It took him all 2 minutes, and that was we had Tim Kempton on earlier in the first hour, and so I'm listening to the game, driving out to go train the guys, the quarterbacks, and it's like tip off, and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, a technical already, and it was like you had to go. Don't tell me it's on Devin Booker. Next year, Tim go. It's on Booker. On Brooks. I'm sorry, Brooks. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it's 2 minutes, and he and Banchero are, I guess, jawing at each other, going back and forth.
Yeah.
And this official, when you watch the replay, he's in front of him. He can see this jawing going back and forth. And I like what Tim said. Back in the day, the official said, look, guys, knock it off.
Yes.
Cut the crap.
Or I'm going to get you.
I'm going to tee you up.
Yeah.
You don't need a physical confrontation.
No.
It's the war of words going back and forth, which can lead to a physical confrontation.
Agree.
So at that point, it is funny that when you watch some of the old games and how the officials, I think of Rick Garrettson many years ago. Daryl Garrettson.
Yeah.
And
Mindy Rudolph.
All the old guys would tell him, look, knock it off.
Yeah.
Even some of the fouls. I'm going to call that if you keep it up. So right on cue, Dylan Brooks. Here we go again, number 17. If he gets one more, he's got to sit out a game. So, Dylan, let's temper the enthusiasm, buddy. I mean, don't temper the enthusiasm. Let's just temper the mouth. How about www.zipit.com?
I just thought
still a line from Austin Powers.
That was good, though. I just thought that Booker's comments
that was good.
Right on brand. It was
Oh my God.
was classic.
Let me indulge you here a little bit.
You go right ahead.
Game last night.
Yeah.
Before you talk about the Hornets, who won 6 out of the last 8.
They're playing really well.
I kind of came away from that game watching, and just a couple things that stood out. It's a couple bullet points here.
Okay.
Only 21 points scored in the first quarter, and only 17 in the fourth. Okay, let that marinate.
Yeah.
20 turnovers in back-to-back games.
Yeah, I think people, because they won at Memphis, I think people didn't pay attention to how many turnovers they had in that game.
In that Memphis game, though, they won.
Yeah, they did.
24 points scored off of turnovers.
Yep.
Last night, 26 points scored off of turnovers in last night's game. Okay, now this is becoming a real problem, folks. You're not going to get very far as a team, play in, play off, whatever. Gave up 70 points in the first half to Orlando. Okay.
Yep.
Now they're giving up 60 or more points in a half on a regular basis.
That's bad.
Whether it's first half or second half. And I can remember Tim telling us, Tim Kempton, that you need to curtail that because it's hard to keep up with the Joneses on a scoring platform. When Monty Williams was running this Suns team and they went to the NBA Finals, if they gave up 60 or more points in a half, it was rare.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, he used to say, one of the culprits in that loss last night, when he talked about a loss, he said, we gave up 60 points, whether it's the first half or the second half. Their goals for that team led by CP3 was to keep teams under 60 in a half. So they gave up 70 in that half last night.
Right.
Out rebounded again, which seems to be a common occurrence. And the other thing, too, you got to make your free throws when you're coming down the wire in close games.
They missed
8, 77%.
Yep.
They missed 8. So those are kind of the cons of what I saw last night. Pros, a lot of guys are playing. They closed the gap, but once again, they could not close the gap. And when they were up by 2 twice in the last 3 minutes,
they were, yes.
It just
and they couldn't close.
They couldn't close it out.
Manuch, I will fire this at you. You are Mr. Sun. You are Suns fan, and you put your fandom hat on a lot on this show. We yell at you, Rock and I do, but you don't care. But I will ask you this. They are in number 7 position right now for the play-in. Do you think that has set in mentally for this team, and they're thinking, okay, we just got to play. If we win a game, fine. If we don't, it's okay, because we're still in the number 7 spot.
So you're asking, are they mentally thinking we're just going to play it out?
Play it out.
No, I don't, because now that Dillon Brooks is back, you've got to find the chemistry all over again. Jalen Green was out for so long. So it's pretty much Booker and Brooks, B squared, if you will, carrying this team. And then you have a lot of guys that were in the lineup playing. Gillespie, a consistent. Grayson Allen, on again, off again.
Right.
I think these last 6 games for the Suns, you've got to play it out to where you've got to find that final chemistry or in a way where Jordan Ott's got to be able to trust whatever he does versus, well, I'm just going to play the young guys. We're going to rest the other guys and just make sure they're healthy. The hell with that. Play it out. Find that chemistry. Find yourself in a groove. You talked about Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte's won the last 6 out of 8 games. They're finding their groove. They're healthy, and they're playing it out. Look at the other teams. Look at the Celtics. Look at the Lakers. The Lakers are 15-2
in this month, in the month of March. 15-2. They are rolling people.
You want to be. I've always found this on the NBA, watching it forever.
Okay.
You want to be. I don't care if you're in the number 1 position or you're in a playing position. You want to leave the last regular season game hitting on all cylinders and feeling confident about your rotation
and going into the playoffs. I agree.
So I think what you're asking is, do you think they'll rest on their laurels and play it out? I'd say, hell no. You can't do that because they haven't afforded to have everybody playing at the same time. The only guy that's not playing is Mark Williams. That's the only starter that's not playing. Anybody of significance, Highsmith, he's out as well too.
Yeah.
Anybody?
But you said starter.
Starter.
And Williams is the key.
Yes.
He really is.
Yes. And the other guy that, if you got to give him a couple extra days, would be Grayson Allen with the knee.
Yeah.
So otherwise, to answer your question, no, you got to play it out, develop that chemistry, feel good about it. Not only the head coach feeling good about it, as you as players got to feel good about it. Jalen Green, kind of a quasi, was decent, I guess.
He didn't even play minutes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Again, the matchups, the chemistry, everybody on the same song sheet. I think it's going to be vital these next 6 games.
Okay. Hey, the other day, I was out and about, which I am a lot, and I just saw this sign. And I thought, hey, I'm just going to drive in and check this place out. It was incredible. It is a steakhouse to die for. Seriously, this is really no joke. And I'm talking cut after cut of top sirloin, tri-tip, the works. And I was stuffed. Look, I'm a big steak lover. They almost had to carry me out. I'm serious. It was that good. You know what I'm talking about. It's the Brazilian Steakhouse Rodizio Grill. The steakhouse where they bring you huge skewers of meat right to your table. You can select. You want it rare, medium well done. It's all right there, right in your table. And then you select what you want. And they are sensationally good. I mean, the food is absolutely terrific. It's the Rodizio Grill Brazilian Steakhouse. Now, they have 2 locations, one in Mesa and another in North Scottsdale. Look, they are totally authentic, generous portions, and it is awesome. You got to check them out. Once again, I stopped in, and I was so stuffed that the next day I had to go to the gym and kind of work some of that out of me. That's how good it was. It is Rodizio Grill. And here's all you have to do to get more information. Just go online, rodizio.com. Once again, that's rodizio.com. All right, when we come back, a little campus quickies, ASU, U of A, and some NAU conversation. First, let's get you to a 620 ESPN Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. It's getaway day at Chase Field as the Arizona Diamondbacks look for a sweep of the Detroit Tigers after an impressive 7-5 comeback win last night, highlighted by Jose Fernandez hitting 2 home runs in his MLB debut. First pitch this afternoon was at 1:10 with Zach Gallen on the mound for the D-backs. He threw 6 quality innings, allowing just 4 hits and no runs while striking out 2. The Diamondbacks are still leading the Tigers 1-0 thanks to a first-inning solo shot by Corbin Carroll. As it stands, the game is headed to the top of the 8th inning, and we will continue to bring you updates as this one finishes up. Here's your perfect national championship plan. Get to DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale and catch us early live from 1 to 4 p.m. Then don't move because the Natty kicks off right after. You got one great spot and one great day, and we will see you there at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting. Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata, and our Johnny and Friends Arizona team invites you to our first pickleball tournament called Rally for Hope. It's more than just a day on the court. It's a chance to provide practical help and gospel hope to weary families that live with a disability. So join us at Center Court in Glendale, May the 2nd from 11 to 5 p.m. Come play or cheer on the teams. Visit johnnyandfriends.org/Arizona for details.
Campus Quickies, your weekly quick look at the Sun Devils, Wildcats, Lumberjacks, and Lopes info, exclusively on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, we roll all the way till 4 o'clock. You know our Campus Quickies. It's ASU, U of A, and NAU. Let's go to the Sun Devils. And then means Hode Rubino is our guest. You can always find Hode. It's a great read, great information at Devil's Digest. Once again, that's at Devil's Digest. Hode, welcome as always. Can you give us a update at all on Randy Bennett, the brand new basketball coach who fell ill? And have you had any conversations with him, and when you expect him to be back in the office?
I didn't have conversations with Randy Bennett per se, but I did have conversations with people close to him, and it's just really an unfortunate situation where he just had some medical issues he had to deal with pretty much from the time he landed in the Valley, as ASU stated, or I should say Randy Bennett stated through ASU, he needed to go to the Mayo Clinic and take care of those medical issues. Right now he is feeling better than it did just a week ago today, and we're expecting the press conference to take place sometime next week. No date hasn't been determined yet, but I think by then you should be through all the medical issues that unfortunately took place since last week.
What has happened on the home front with the basketball players themselves? Is everybody pretty much standing pat? We know the portal opens next week on the 7th. Any information there on who's going to enter? Any rumblings one way or the other there, Hode?
Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen if some of the top players from St. Mary's are or are not going to end up in a Sun Devil uniform. I mean, obviously we know that ASU is a team that is not going to offer the biggest NIL check over there, not only in football but in basketball too. So now the question is, will those top players rather just keep with Randy Bennett, keep the system that they know that served them really well, or are going to go for the higher paychecks? I know there's some players that were injured last year for ASU, like Adams and Dante Holman, who are already declared the intentions of going into the portal, which really is no big surprise. But I think right now the picture is a little murky as far as which players ASU is scheduled to add. But the portal is open on April 6th, so we'll be a little smarter when that date comes by.
And is it only open for a week? You have to get in within a week. And at that point in time, how long do you have before you choose? Or do you have to choose those that know at that time? Kind of explain that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, I mean, right now, players can declare their intention of going into the portal.
Okay, got it.
But really officially, they're not in the portal before April 6th. It's a 15-day window. Just as a side note, if your coach for some reason did decide to resign, let's say on April 7th, 8th, or 9th, then the portal for players from that team would extend, more than just a 15-day window. But those are more or less the rules for the portal.
Hode Rubino is our guest. Hode has incredible sources, so I can ask him this question. Randy Bennett and Job have the same representation. Have you heard any whispers come out of that representation?
He just said you're the big sleuth on the college grind there, buddy.
I did.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned that factoid to you guys a week ago or 2 weeks ago. There are definitely a lot of issues that are happening behind the scenes, trying to have that connection really come to fruition and have Job stay. This to say that in terms of all the returning players, he is the most important one that ASU would want to keep. Again, not to belabor the NIL issue, but having agents for the same agency, that's all fine and dandy. But ASU, I know for a fact, is off the shell at least $2 million, maybe even $3 to keep Job. Is that realistic with NIL structure that ASU has? I mean, maybe not so much, but I wouldn't really declare it fait accompli that Job is not going to be here next year, because I think ultimately, if he is happy, in Tempe, is willing, to play for a different coach, and more importantly, if ASU is going to have the NIL, which is, like I said, at least it's going to be at least $2 million for the upcoming season, I think ASU can keep Job, but that's definitely going to be a challenge, and anybody saying differently, is definitely not portraying the correct picture.
Okay, now go throw the ball for your dog so your dog can get some exercise. We hear it in the background.
You got parakeets, you got dogs. What do you got going on over there, Hode? Goodness.
Sorry about that. The dog was probably the only one uninformed about my regular radio interview every Wednesday at 2:30. So I can make sure they get the memo for next
I
week.
can hear the parakeets in the background. Campus quickies, campus quickies, campus quickies.
Thanks, Hode, as always, man. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. That's Hode Rubino. Let's head south to Tucson. And that means that Steve Rivera, longtime sports talk show host, Fox Sports 1450 AM in Tucson, is our guest. You can find him on X, Steve Rivera 95. That's at Steve Rivera 95. All right, Big Steve, here we go. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody believes that this is the heavyweight bout between Michigan and U of A, which is going to eventually produce the winner of the NCAA basketball championship. How much conversation is that right now in Tucson?
Well, they're just happy to be. Well, I'm not sure they're more than happy to be there, but that is the big game. Don't forget, though, that games like this often produce a lot of emotions with a Saturday game, and then they lose it on Monday night if this is the marquee matchup, right? Because the other team wants to win, too. I do think it's a better game. We'll see if they do advance to Monday to see how much emotion is left.
And, Steve, when you watch Michigan, you watch U of A the entire year. Is it a pretty good matchup, all things considered, in your eyes?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm thinking my story will be on Saturday. If we all watch college basketball like we always do, right, or we do, Michigan was a fantastic team in early December, right, beating teams by 20 or more many times. And Arizona was just kind of like, where are they coming from? And they're beating these teams like Florida, Alabama, and then the rest of them. You're thinking, I wonder who's better. Guess what? We get to find that out.
Yeah, and I think that I really believe that the four best teams that are in the Final Four are that. When you saw this team down by 7 against Purdue, what were your thoughts? And then you hear Tommy Lloyd talk about the game, how he kind of left the locker room and allowed the players to somewhat talk about it. He kind of downplayed it, but from what you're hearing, what was said amongst the players to come out and take the lead, take control of that Purdue game?
Yeah, we haven't really talked to players about that post. No, but I think it was a fantastic move. Luke did something like that maybe 25 years ago with Luke and Jason Gardner and all that. If you guys don't listen to us, you listen to yourself and see how to figure this out. Great coaching move. We'll see what happens from here on out. But a good move. I forgot, what was the question in the first part?
It was just pretty much, just kind of the them being down 7 at halftime. What did you see happen in the second half?
Yeah, in my mind, in the first half, it happens, right? This team is a second half team, and I've watched 36 games. I haven't really doubted this team much in terms of coming back. Have I doubted this team? Heck yes. For the first month or so, I said, okay, something's going to happen. Something's going to screw it up. Something's going to happen, and it didn't. Nothing happened. And nothing happened.
That's good. How is the fan base? Are they all having Excedrin headaches with all of the conversation about head coach Tommy Lloyd and the North Carolina job?
Yes. Did you get the stock in Excedrin stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's the biggest question. I think we'll know more. Well, I know we'll know more after Tuesday to see what happens if push comes to shove or if they win it all. Or it would be a tragedy if he left, given the circumstances of this year.
I thought it was interesting when he said yesterday, he says, well, whether I'm here or whoever's here, success will continue on at Arizona. I went, wait a second. Was that a subliminal message there?
I heard
that yesterday, Steve.
No, he was, how can I say this? He was clarifying his statement from Saturday after he won that game. And it wasn't really a clarification. It was just more of a, this is what I said, and I'm standing by it. Kind of vague, but kind of throwing some tea leaves out there. We'll see. Arizona's a program that will be fine with whoever they have if it's Tommy Lloyd.
Was that a hint right there?
Yeah, I was just lost. Yeah.
Is that breaking news?
I don't know anything. I don't know anything, but I think he has to stay.
Sounds like Schultz and Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. Yeah. And I'll give you nothing.
Yeah. Hey, but don't Wally pick me and change me for someone else on the show.
No, we never will.
No, never. No.
Not that there's anybody else that can continue on, but
well,
never.
There is. We've talked to a couple. Oh, no, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll have to use big words like your boy Hode. fait la complete or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
You're the best, pal. Thank you. Have a great time on Saturday, man.
Okay. Thanks, you guys.
There you go. That's Steve Rivera, everybody, out of Tucson. Let's go to the mountain. Means Mitch Stroman is our guest, longtime play-by-play voice for the Jacks. We are talking NAU. Mitch, how's everything? You guys had some pretty nice weather up there.
Yeah, it was great, guys. We had some rain. We had some fog. Even the mountains got a couple of inches of snow, and, boy, we sure needed it up here. It's been so dry, and it felt so good to wake up and have that rain and that fog this morning. But it's all burned off. It's beautiful. It's 56 degrees, and sun shining on the mountain. You can't ask for anything better.
So let's talk about a little spring football. And you kind of hinted at it last week, but anytime we can call football, it's a good day for me, Mitch. So talking about this team, what are the goals and mantras, so to speak, for NAU to get to that mountaintop and stay there on a yearly basis?
Manuch, I'm with you 100%. When you talk football, let's go, right? I mean, let's get it going. You know, I think the mantra so far, and there have been 4 spring practices out of the 14 that head coach Brian Wright has scheduled here in the spring, but a couple of mantras. First of all, roster control and manipulation. There's about 100 guys right now on the roster. We're opting into the house settlement with the NCAA this year, and that means we're going to have to accept that roster limit of 105, and that's a hard cap.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of guys coming in the summer and freshmen coming in for the fall semester in a few months, and that's going to put us over 105 players, and there's going to be a cut down. That's kind of a new thing for NAU football. What do you mean kind of a new thing? It is a new thing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting. So roster manipulation, roster control, and then rebuilding the defense, going from that 3-4 base set, guys, to a brand new 4-3-5 base set. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. They're already bringing in bigger defensive linemen because, as you guys know, if you're going to have 4 down linemen in the trenches, they got to be big space eaters, and the team looks bigger on that defensive line size already from the new guys that they brought in through the transfer portal, and that's going to be a big mantra going into the fall practices in August.
Well, when you see the Montanas and Montana States of the world, and I call it keeping up with the Joneses, when you watch this team the last couple of years under Coach Wright, what he's done, is this team there, or are they getting there?
I think that they're almost there. So I guess the real answer to your question is they're getting there, but it's not too much farther to get. So, I mean, I know I'm not being evasive when I say that. I'm being really serious. They are really, really close to being there. They're being top end of the league in the Big Sky Conference and the ability to, compete for a championship. And that's the goal. That's the objective. He talks about that all the time. And when he talks about championship, he talks about Big Sky and national. And he's not messing around with that. National championship is the goal. He wants to be like the Montana State of the state of Arizona. And that is their goal. And I believe that they are really, really close to being in that world.
In about 30, 40 seconds, Mitch, now you guys are getting money, correct?
Yep.
Settlement
money. The house settlement is like that. That's exactly right. You get a piece of that pie from the settlement with the NCAA, and that's going to be a big game changer, not just for football guys, but for basketball, all the other sports. It changes the whole dynamic at NAU.
We always love it when you come on the show. Thank you, pal. Enjoy the mountain, man.
Oh, I'm enjoying it, and I am one of many here in the Grand Canyon State that are rooting for the Cats on Saturday. Let's bring a natty to the Grand Canyon State. Go Cats and go Jacks.
There you go. That's spoken like a true broadcaster. The one, the only Mitch Stroman. Campus Quickies presented today by All City Towing, and you can join All City Towing. They are the state's largest towing company, and they're hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service people. Look, the pay is excellent, and they have wonderful benefits, including a monthly fuel allowance. If you'd like to try and get a new gig, then try All City Towing. Here's all you have to do. Just go online, allcitytowing.com, and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. All right, when we come back, random fact of the day and some football at 50 as well. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch. Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like.
Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage in your community and make a difference?
Volunteer with the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, or SHIP.
We need your help to support your friends and neighbors as they enroll in Medicare for the first time.
Review plan options or troubleshoot problems with their health care.
SHIP has many volunteer opportunities. Whether it's conducting one-on-one counseling, speaking to groups, or providing office support, SHIP can find a role that's right for you.
For more information or to volunteer, visit azship.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community Living, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We're on until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Time for Manuch's favorite segment because he writes them. It is our random fact of the day.
I dig deep.
Yes, you
to
do.
find these random facts of the day. Bananas are technically radioactive.
What?
Yes, they contain high levels of potassium, which includes a small amount of isotope potassium-40. Yeah,
sure?
that's right.
What?
Isotope potassium-40, which is basically radioactive.
Isotope, you mean?
Isotope potassium-40.
Wow.
It's an actual chemical that makes the bananas radioactive. I have one a day. So if I glow all the time, you can pretty much tell Manuch had his banana today. And last but not least,
I hope you don't get shrinkage.
Yeah, well, I don't think I will. Last but not least, for a random fact of the day, pineapples take almost 2 years to grow. These tropical fruits can take between 18 to 24 months to fully mature. I love a fresh, ripe pineapple.
I do too. Do you like it on pizza?
No, that's purely un-American. That's a communist thing. Who puts pineapple on their pizza?
Wait,
what is that?
Pineapple on pizza?
No.
Huh?
That dog won't hunt in the Manucci household. No. That if anybody ever had that in my household, they'd be excommunicated.
All right, now here we go. A little football at 50, and it is indeed presented by a pizzeria. It's Venezia's. We love going to Venezia's. By the way, they are the real New York style pizza in Arizona. You want Venezia's? It's hand-tossed dough, fresh ingredients, massive slices, and delivery that actually shows up with a hot pizza. They're family-owned, Valley-loved. It's Venezia's Pizzeria. Grab a slice or just feed the whole crew tonight. Once again, it is Venezia's. What do you got?
Little football 50 here. Connor, indulge me, if you will, some of the NFL news music to my ear. Odell Beckham Jr. He came out to the Biltmore this last week to talk with John Harbaugh on Monday about maybe coming back to the Giants. He also stated his case to the team brass, which was there, owner, the Mara family, as well as the general manager, at least according to ESPN sources. The degree of interest from the Giants is pretty much a kind of a situation where they're looking at him, they're talking to him.
Okay.
He's had a great relationship with Harbaugh, but I got to commend him because Beckham Jr., he lives here, and he trains here in the off season.
Right.
So I like that. He took the initiative. It's taken the initiative as far as some of the things that are going on as far as going to the Giants.
Does he have anything really left, Manucci, after the knee surgeries and everything?
He might.
He's a possession guy now.
He could be one of those possession guys. He could be an individual that is, pretty much coming across the middle.
Yeah.
Still got great hands.
Oh, absolutely.
The one catch is still one of the greatest catches
I agree.
that I've ever seen altogether.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys, even Jason Pierre-Paul, had stated he'd like to talk to the Giants as well.
Okay.
Just after being picked up by Tampa Bay late last year. His goal is to get 100 sacks in his career.
Yeah.
He's currently got 94 and a half sacks. So a lot of these guys are going on their own, coming to the Biltmore, which ended yesterday, as far as them coming back. And then last but not least, NFL statement, the NFL Players Association on the officiating. Players Association Executive Director J.C. Treader voiced disapproval of the NFL's potential use of replacement officials coming up here in 2026, citing concerns for player safety in a joint statement released by the NFLPA and the NFL Referees Association on Wednesday. Here's the statement from the NFL Players Association.
Okay.
Quote, they manage the game in real time, talking about the referees, enforcing the rules, and stop situations from escalating. That can't be replaced by less experienced crews or handled remotely. If player safety truly matters, trained professional officials on the field are not negotiable, close quote. So what he's also alluding to there is if there's replacement officials on the field and that there's egregious calls that are missed or made that are wrong, it'll be piped down from New York. So the Players Association does not want any faux officiating on the football field to miss calls, player safety, horse collar, face mask, a clip, a chop block, whatever. They don't want these guys missing those calls because the NFL is so quick. I cannot tell you, folks, going from college to pro, it's literally like going from second gear to a fifth gear. It's overdrive, and then you stay in that overdrive an entire game.
Right.
And that's what it's like for those officials. Now, what the NFL is also doing is they're contacting a lot of top college officials now, anticipating that there is a disagreement or nothing is settled before the opening kickoff. I believe it's going to be a Wednesday that they're going to go ahead and use these replacement officials.
Wow.
So it's not going to be signed off at all by the Players Association one way or the other. And last but not least, Roger Goodell, he says he backs the Rooney Rule.
Good.
Says diversity is a benefit to the National Football League. And he basically says, quote, one thing that doesn't change is our values. And we believe that diversity has been a benefit of the National Football League. We are well aware of the laws and where the laws are changing or evolving. We think the Rooney Rule is consistent with those. As you remember, the Attorney General of Florida said he wants to abandon it.
Idiot.
It's not about hiring. It's about making sure that minorities get interviewed.
Yes.
And then the hiring is up to those individuals.
Correct.
That make sure that minorities are interviewed. There's no quota.
Nope.
In reference to the National Football League.
Nope.
Or with DEI. Now, certain companies may have quotas, but I think that the Attorney General of Florida basically has misinterpreted what the recruiting rule is all about.
No, I'll say it. I'll say it on the show. He's a freaking bozo. He really is. All right. Coming up, it is hour number 3. Howard Balzer is going to join us at 3:30. We'll get the latest on what took place at the owners' meeting. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620 on the FM dial, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch, Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband. It's my sons. It's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, everybody, final hour. We got Howard Balzer coming up at the bottom of the hour at 3:30. The Suns are off today. They will play tomorrow on the road against the Charlotte Hornets. And getaway day for the Tigers and the D-backs has just concluded. Laz, what do we got for the update?
The Arizona Diamondbacks have completed the sweep of the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you don't see this a lot anymore. We got a 1-0 ball game, a first inning solo shot from Corbin Carroll, and he hit that ball a long way. It went 410 feet, so that was a nice little shot from him. But that was all she wrote for the whole game. We got a 1-0 final, 7 hits for the Tigers, 6 for the D-backs, and another quality start from Zach Gallen. He went 6 innings, only gave up 4 hits and no earned runs, but he only struck out 2. But nonetheless, another quality start from Gallen, and the D-backs sweep the Tigers 1-0 on getaway day.
How about that? Skubal, you look at his numbers. He goes 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, and as Laz alluded to, just the 1 run, the dinger, 3 strikeouts. And you look at Zach Gallen, I agree, another quality start. Go 6 innings, 88 pitches, 58 of them strikes. Then you look at Skubal, and he goes 7 innings, 87 pitches, 60 strikes. So somewhat similar, but Gallen nibbling away, and if there's one area, the effectiveness of his pitching, they might take a look at it. But the bullpen comes in. Tony Clark comes in, only gives up 1 hit.
Right.
Murillo comes in, got to hold your breath there. No hits. And then Losagia, how do you say that? How do you say his last name, Laz?
Jonathan Loaizaga.
Loaizaga. He made it interesting. Last inning, he gave up a couple of hits, a little threat by the Tigers, but you got to give him credit. Only 7 hits for the Detroit Tigers team that went to playoffs last year, get a sweep, and the Diamondbacks only a game and a half behind the Dodgers now. Woo-hoo! They've got second place. But again, another well thrown game by Zach Gallen, and for Skubal as well too. Another game, and there was a couple of hits, deep flies, deep outs, by this Tigers team that the defense came to the rescue. Again, you look at those numbers coming across the board. There was only no errors. You had 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. 0 runs for the Tigers, 7 hits, and they had the 1 error. So good win, good sweep. Now you get ready for the Braves coming in.
There you go. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. Manuch, I know that Rock has stated on the show many times that he doesn't like interleague play. And for me, I don't even look at it anymore as interleague play. You just said they're playing the Tigers. Okay, they're in the American League. Okay, I know that, but I don't say, oh my gosh, it's interleague play. I think that is well gone in the distance.
I would agree with that. It's all interspersed so much anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, the Yankees are coming to town, or the Tigers are coming to town.
Exactly.
Now, I will say this. I will say this in defense of Rock in reference to back in the day. I did enjoy American League takes care of theirs. National League takes care of theirs. But when they come together in a World Series, there's more – there's a little more
because it's league against league.
Yes, league against league. There's more juice to it. When the DH came, the American League, then the National League caved and got it.
Yeah.
But I think right now it's just happenstance. But I would. That's why when you had the All-Star game, in the first week of July, it was so fun to go. Well, I never used to see, unless you were out here at spring training, but you never saw any of those guys.
And that was my biggest bitch, why I hated it.
Well, but the thing I liked was go, okay, hey, look, Vida Blue is going to pitch against the National League.
Yeah.
Or Bob Gibson's going to pitch against the American League, because they never faced each other.
Correct.
During the season.
Yeah.
So that's, I miss that. I like that juice about it's the National League versus the American League. And I never forget, when the NFL and AFL merged, become the NFC and AFC, you really missed, okay, Joe Namath of the Jets has got to take on the Baltimore Colts, the juggernauts of the NFL, and then you got the finesse team of the Jets who beat the Colts.
They did.
I could appreciate that, so I know where he's coming from, that being Rock, when you hear that. But to your point, it's, Yankees are coming into town. I love that from the standpoint. Now I get to see A-Rod. I get to see this guy. I get to see that guy.
Well, you don't see A-Rod except on TV.
I mean, when
Aaron Judge.
No, when he came in, when A-Rod came in with the Yankees, that was like, wow.
Yeah.
Interleague, you got the Yankees coming to town. You got Derek Jeter, You got A-Rod. You got Mariano Rivera.
Yep.
That was like really cool. So I can see the old school versus, I get a chance to see him during the regular season. And if you weren't going to the World Series, you weren't seeing some of those top-notch
I'm
players.
1,000 years older than both you and Rock, and I could not wait until they did interleague play. I was so bored just watching the American League or the National League, depending on which city I was in. Look, I did an American League team for a couple of seasons in the Texas Rangers, and it was awful. Well, it was awful because the Rangers were awful when I was calling their games. But at any rate, I wanted to see the stars. And sometimes those stars were not in the American League. They were in the National League.
It's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I just grew up that senior circuit diehard National League guy. St. Louis Cardinals
I'm off
fan.
of that.
And, well, I was. I mean, now.
No, I know. I understand.
But when the Diamondbacks, when they start playing in 1998, and the interleague started to come into full force and effect,
yes,
you might see 2 or 3 teams come in. That's it. Now you see it throughout the season. But I'll never forget that ticket for the Yankees coming in, the Boston Red Sox coming in, even for a lot of Michiganders who are here. Their Tigers like this series coming in. I'm sure there's a lot of Michigan folks that were at the ballpark the last 3 days. But those top-notch teams that came in from the American League, if you didn't see them in spring training, then you went, oh, wow, we're going to see so-and-so and so-and-so during the year. Because if you're in a National League city or American League city and you're not going to get a chance to have your team go to a World Series, it's kind of nice to see the stars in the other league come through your city.
I've always been a rebel rouser my entire life. I spent a lot of time in the principal's office in high school. Not proud of that, but I did.
If the guy's moniker is Puff Puff Pass, I can imagine that.
Damn right. So I maybe that's where that came from. Where even though, as I said, I'm like light years older than both you and Rock, it's interesting to me that you guys both felt like that.
Sure.
And where I didn't. I was upset that I did not get a chance to see the top players from the other league. And that was frustrating, at least for me at that time.
Yeah, and if you look at this, I mean, if you think about this, with the month for the Diamondbacks, as I mentioned, Atlanta coming in for a 4-game series. Then they're at the Mets. And then they're at Philadelphia. Then they're at Baltimore for 3. And then Toronto, talking about American League, comes in.
Yep.
And then you've got the White Sox, talking about American League.
Yep.
So there's there's 3, there's 4, there's 10 games of back-to-back-to-back American League teams. So that Midwest swing of East Coast, Baltimore, and coming back before you come home and take on the Padres. So, yeah, it's for me, I'll never forget when the Red Sox first came through Diamondback over at the Bob at that time.
Yes, it was the Bob.
The
Bank
place
One
had
ballpark.
to be at least 70% Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because we went no more Garcia Parra, and that team coming in who was looking to vie for the World Series.
Yep.
And it was like, and then when the Yankees were here, good luck trying to get a ticket.
Right.
Just period. Just good luck trying to get a ticket.
Yeah.
But that was it was exciting. I kind of started to come around when
At
those
that
teams
time?
when they were coming in
and
being able to see those players in person.
When we come back, we're going to do some conversation about the NFL meetings, which have now concluded. And a lot of those real pasty white guys that were hanging out around the pool, thankfully, they are now gone in Scottsdale. So you won't get blinded by somebody walking by the pool at the hotel. So we want to remind you about all of that because we are going to talk a little bit about some of the top quarterbacks. How about Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, Tua Tagovailoa, Malik Willis? We're going to get into all of that. It's coming up next in our next segment. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Biggs is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Biggs American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Mania is here, and there's only one place to catch every buzzer beater, every upset, every bracket buster. Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with made-from-scratch favorites and the ultimate game day atmosphere, featuring Michelob Ultra all tournament long. Whether your bracket's still perfect or completely busted, Twin Peaks is your headquarters for the madness. Join us at any of the 5 Valley locations: Deer Valley, Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Tempe. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Driving high can get you a DUI. Instead of getting behind the wheel, designate a sober driver or rideshare. In Arizona, drug-impaired driving is illegal, even if the drug is legal. So drive sober or not at all. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving, since drugs slow your reaction time and cloud your judgment. If you feel different, you drive different. Visit drivesober.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Jones, big time, touch pass. He's got a man. Pittman, touchdown! Michael Pittman in the end zone. And the Colts take a 9-0 lead. Thank you to CBS Sports for the highlight. Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We roll until 4 o'clock. In this segment, we're going to talk about changing your career dynamic. It's obvious Daniel Jones was able to accomplish that. Then he got hit with the injuries with the Indianapolis Colts. Then Manuch, he got paid. So let's start first. We saw what Sam Darnold did in Minnesota. It carried over into Seattle. He is now a Super Bowl champion. Who is going to take over and be possibly that next Sam Darnold?
Yeah, good article on NFL.com by Jeffrey Chadia. And I saw this morning. They were talking about, okay, who's the next Sam Darnold? And they rattled off these 5. And as you just heard, Daniel Jones for the touchdown pass to Michael Pittman. You got basically what he said is Daniel Jones with the Colts.
Okay.
28 years old, year number 8. Going to be year number 8.
All right.
To your point, yes, he got paid.
Yes.
Had the Achilles injury.
Yes.
They're hoping he's back for, I'll say, the first month of the season. And they also talked about Kyler Murray with the Vikings, age 28 as well, to year 8. Mac Jones, back up at the 49ers, age 27, year 6, who's in his last year of his contract with the Niners. You got Tua Tagovailoa with the Falcons, age 27, year number 7. Mm-hmm. And then Malik Willis with the Dolphins, age 26. This will be his 5th year believe it or not.
Yep.
So when you look at this, you look at the common denominators. They're all about 27, 28, aside from Willis. This is either their 6th, 7th, or 8th year. They've all started with other teams. So we'll start with Daniel Jones, who got paid. As I mentioned, I thought Daniel Jones did a good job with the Giants. He took them to the playoffs, folks.
He won a playoff game.
And he won a playoff game.
Yeah.
So when you look at the Sam Darnold situation with the Jets, it blew up. He goes to Carolina, didn't get the reps, kind of blew up. He and Baker Mayfield are there.
Right.
He goes and backs up Brock Purdy with the San Francisco 49ers as a backup. Renewed his confidence, learned a lot. Goes to Minnesota, goes 14-2, lights it up. Kind of lays an egg in the playoff game.
Yeah.
They don't re-sign him. And as you mentioned, goes to Seattle and wins the Super Bowl. So if that's the bar for a lot of these guys, I look at Daniel Jones to start with. Daniel Jones, I think, proved, and he had this Colts team on the playoff realm if he doesn't get hurt.
Oh, I think they like 7-2.
They were on a roll.
Yeah, they were playing well.
And then Richardson comes in.
Yeah.
And they're looking like they're going to keep him now. And then I don't even remember who the backups were from that standpoint. So I look at this as far as resurrecting his career. I think he's already resurrected his career.
Okay.
So I would say, Jeffrey Chadia, I see what you're saying, but I think Daniel Jones is there. He's resurrected. He's never really had to re-resurrect his career. He went from the Giants to Minnesota to back up there. And as a free agent, I think he's doing just fine. I think he will continue to do fine if he stays healthy.
Okay.
Now, here's the big enigma. Kyler Murray with the Vikings at 28, year 8. He needs to get his career back on track. So if there was a like kind, it's not even a comp because Kyler Murray's really hasn't taken the team to the playoff but one time.
One time.
He's never had this team at 14-2, or you can say 15-3.
No, but he did do 11-5.
All right, one time.
Yeah.
Because Sam Darnold's done it twice.
Okay.
So my whole contention is, I think that Kyler Murray has got a bigger hill to climb to be on par, not so much resurrecting his career, just to get his career on par with the other individuals I'm going to mention.
Okay.
So I think that Kyler Murray, 28, year number 8, has got to prove to a lot of people out there he's got to go above and beyond because Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones have already done that, if you will. Mac Jones, 49ers, did an outstanding job to come in for, 8 games for Brock Purdy. Has done a great job. Now, to become the pure starter again like he was with the Patriots, we'll have to wait and see. So if Brock gets hurt, he's their backup.
Right.
He's their guy.
Yep.
He's proven he can perform at a high level.
Agree.
Now, to go to another team and be their guy week in and week out, we'll have to see that. So if at the end of the year he's a free agent, he wants to go to, another team and kind of prove he's the guy that can make things happen. Let's say Bryce Young falters. And Carolina's going, you know what? Bryce Young's just not getting it done. We like Mac Jones.
Okay.
Let's go after him as a free agent. Then I think at that point in time, if a guy becomes a starter, then you put him on par with the Sam Darnold. Because the other individuals have pretty much have started this last year. Okay? So let's look at Tua Tagovailoa. Going to the Falcons, he's going to have a chance to compete with Penix Jr. And coming off last year, very disappointing for Tua. And it's been a couple of years ever since his contract that he's really performed at that high level. So this is a prime example of can Tua go to a team, start, take a team to the playoffs like Sam Darnold. Now remember, folks, our comp is Sam Darnold.
Right. Yep.
And think of what he's done the last couple of years as a backup starter in Minnesota and a starter in Seattle and going to the Super Bowl. So can Tua do that? Can he get that team, Atlanta, if he starts, on a day in and day out basis to the playoffs and resurrect his career as a kind of athlete, as kind of the quarterback that we're looking for? Okay, so keep that in mind. And then this one's probably the biggest question mark because we don't have enough, what do you call it?
Well, you don't have enough tape on him.
You don't have enough tape. You don't have enough with the term. I'm losing the term a lot of guys use. Tape, value, eyewear, whatever you want to call it. Malik Willis going to go to the Dolphins looks like he's going to be the starter. Now, we saw what happened in Tennessee. They traded him away because he felt like between Levis and him that one of them had to go. Okay, so when I'm had to go, so he gets traded to the Packers, plays 6 games with the Packers, does fairly well.
Yeah.
Okay, but as the starter, week in and week out, 26 years old, young guy, year 5, will he get to the point where he can get on the Sam Darnold level? Now, I don't think it's really resurrecting his career because we never really saw a career develop in Tennessee. You see what I'm saying there?
I understand.
So I think when I look at these 5, yes, they all got something to prove. Mac Jones is going to have to wait until he's out there with the team on his own. Tua, you're going to have to prove it all over again with the kind of money you made at one time.
Right.
To the tune of, $99 million.
And he's still getting that money.
Right. Malik Willis, we don't have enough tape on you. We don't have enough visuals on you to see if you can do it week in and week out. Kyler Murray, probably the biggest hill to climb, one of the biggest question marks. Number one, can he run the offense that Sam Darnold ran and was very successful? That'll be a true comp if Kyler Murray goes in there and can run it like Sam Darnold did.
Don't you think, though, that they will tweak that offense if indeed Kyler Murray is their starter to make it more comfortable for him?
I think that they'll probably have to. Do they want to? No.
Okay.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Okay.
So I think if in that case, if they feel he's got some things he can do, which he can.
Yeah.
When you saw O'Connell there as the offensive coordinator at the Rams, you saw bootlegs, you saw waggles, but not on such a concentrated basis, which they probably are going to have to do with Kyler Murray. I think Daniel Jones is fine. If Daniel Jones stays healthy, he can be on par with Sam Darnold, where he's been and where he's come from. Tua, you're going to have to get it together. You've got the athletes, you've got the running game, you've got the ability. So we'll see what lefty wins that possession.
That's right. They're both him and Penix, yeah.
And then for Malik Willis, it's just going to be, okay, here's the keys. Here's the Ferrari. Can you take it around the track without wiping out? Can you keep it gassed up? Can you finish the race? And I think when I look at these 5, I will say that Jeffrey Chadia does a good job. And again, it's on NFL.com, great story, that he's saying is, look, Sam has risen from the ashes. He's proven he can be an outstanding quarterback. He's proved back-to-back years he can take a team to 14-2. He's also proven that he's got the talent and he can take a team to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. So that's a high benchmark for all 5 of these individuals. I'd probably put a question mark by Mac Jones for now. But the other 4 are, and for Daniel Jones, I put, you know what, he's there. He doesn't have to prove anything.
I'm with you on that with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he's proven.
I liked what I saw from him before he got hurt. Yeah.
And he had that Achilles, I believe it was in November.
Yeah, it was bad.
So they typically say it takes an Achilles a good year. But if they can get him back by at least, I'm going to say end of September, early October.
Okay.
In the meantime, looks like Richardson might be the guy that's going to be the QB to kind of handle the chores until he's healthy. Who knows? I mean, Daniel Jones could be back for game 1. We don't know.
Remember they brought in 92-year-old Phillip Rivers?
Yes, they did.
to play the last 4 games.
Because of the injury to Richardson, you're going, I think it was a hip or could have been.
Yeah, he was out too.
Whatever it was. And Rivers didn't play bad.
No, he didn't. No.
It just goes to show you that being a cerebral quarterback and having some skills can take you a long way. Now, they lost those 3 games in a row.
They did.
But, he looked serviceable. The game was manageable by him, but they lost those 3. And at that point, you're like, hey, we just want to be competitive. They were competitive. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, what to look for those 5 quarterbacks. The only time Mac Jones will play is if Brock Purdy gets hurt. But he's proven, I thought he proved in those 8 games, he played pretty damn well to handle that San Francisco offense.
I'm with you, and I'm sure that the 49ers took phone calls here about his availability.
I'm sure
know they did.
I'm sure the chatter over the Biltmore up until yesterday. And those are some of the things we'll get into with Howard Balls here coming up the next segment. Since he was there, some of the backroom chatter. But as far as a guy I'm really going to be watching, it'll be Malik Willis.
Okay.
As the guy. He's the dude.
Yeah.
He's the man with the plan for the Dolphins.
Got a big contract.
Can he go get it done day in, day out, and have that kind of consistency you're going to need if you're going to be on that Sam Darnold level of what we've seen out of Sam the last 2 years.
Okay, so everybody now is out of Scottsdale. They are gone. The meetings are over.
Out of Phoenix.
Out of Phoenix. Yeah, thank you. And Howard Balzer was there. Now, Howard is a longtime scribe, like 622 years covering the NFL. So that's why we love having him on the show. And he is coming up next. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy V's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. It was getaway day at Chase Field as the Arizona Diamondbacks completed a 3-game sweep of the Detroit Tigers with a 1-0 win this afternoon. Zach Gallen got the start for the D-backs and threw 6 quality innings, allowing just 4 hits and no runs while striking out 2 batters. The only run of the game came in the first inning on a solo shot from Corbin Carroll, giving Arizona the early and decisive lead. The D-backs now take this hot streak into a 4-game weekend set against the Atlanta Braves right here at Chase Field. Here's your perfect national championship plan. Get to DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale early and catch us live from 1 to 4 p.m. Then don't move because the Natty kicks off right after. One great spot, one great day. We will see you there at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. Stay tuned as Howard Balzer will join the guys next.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Hey listeners, how do you help first responders and their families when they need help? Well, you can come to a benefit concert party at Kierland Golf Course in the Marshalls Pavilion. Friday night, May 8th, 80s cover band Rock Lobster. They tear it up in the AZ band scene. Food, drinks, and fun for great cause. The 100 Club of Arizona has been assisting public safety members since 1968 with the line of duty death, mental health, safety equipment, and scholarship for family members. Go to 100club.org. That's 100club.org events page.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with 0 alcohol, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on Sirius XM, a Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
We obviously have obligations to our fans, to everybody in the National Football League to play, and we will be prepared to play. And so we are taking the appropriate steps to be ready, but we're also keenly focused on negotiations. So we'd like to get a negotiated deal, and we certainly are focused on that.
That's Roger Goodell, NFL commish, from the latest meetings that took place here the last few days. Howard Balzer is our guest. He was there hanging out shirtless at the pool with all of these pasty white guys, and he is going to join us right now. You can follow him on X at hbalzer721. Howard, how are you, pal?
How you doing, Howard?
Doing well, guys. Doing well as always. And I will say, my wife asked me, did you get a chance to go? I said, I didn't even see the pool. So that's the way. That's just the way.
It seems to be the soup du jour right now, Howard, seems to be the officials. Players Association came out today, said they're in full support. They want to make sure that nobody gets injured. The game is called properly because of the speedy game, on and on and on. What's your gut tell you about this particular situation? It sounds like the hard-headedness of the owners and the officials are currently at an impasse.
Well, they're definitely right now at an impasse. There's no doubt about that. The contract expires at the end of May. So now we can say at the end of next month. And, the NFL's putting everything out there to show how serious they are about doing what they did 14 years ago and play the games with replacement officials by saying they're already in the process of beginning to interview people and find people that they want to get a group of officials ready to go in the event that there isn't an agreement. And so it was interesting, like you said, that, what was put out today, that the executive directors of both the Referees Association and the Players Association talked. And it was interesting to hear them frame it in the health and safety aspect of it, as opposed to just, making the right call or missing a call, whatever it might be, but talking about how these officials are very important in terms of, keeping the, to a degree, keeping the players safe. And so you hope they find a way to settle this, because I think it could get pretty darn ugly if there are replacement officials. And let's remember, too, the league approved a rule yesterday that will use replay assist during games, a much expanded replay assist from NFL Command in New York, if there are replacement officials, in where they can reverse a call that was made, make a call that wasn't made, and most of them are for, kind of major penalties that have big impact on the game. So I even asked Rich McKay of the competition committee yesterday, how concerned are you with slowing the game down and how long a lot of stoppages could really make games choppier? And he said, hey, we've got it down now to 20 seconds. Replay assist can be 20 seconds. And we're not, let's see that in action when these guys start, getting on the field who have never stepped foot on an NFL field as an official. So, as I always say, what could possibly go wrong, guys?
Howard, it's interesting.
Hopefully we'll get to that point.
You bring that up, and we were talking during the break, what's reviewable, what's not reviewable. So if it's a penalty that's not reviewable, are they still going to review it? I know that sounds kind of redundant, but you see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's not reviewable, so New York's not going to buzz the guy down and say missed a call, but is it only on reviewable plays? We're a little confused here, Howard.
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that, because they have a list of plays that they will be reviewing and many of them are plays that are not reviewable in the normal instant replay system. They're talking about face mask. They're talking about horse collars. They're talking about pass interference. They're talking about roughing the passer. Illegal contact. So it's interesting that virtually all the plays that they list, the big impact plays, are ones that are not reviewable during the normal course of play with the regular officials, but would be in this case, because it's interesting because they term those the ones that have the most impact on the game. Because, of course, a lot of them are 15-yard penalties and all that, but they don't think it's important enough to get those right with the regular official. Right? I'm not going to say it a lot.
Yeah.
This is a difficult game to officiate.
Yep.
But the ones like the missed face mask and a face mask that called that really wasn't, or a roughing the passer that really wasn't, all those things, like you said, those are not reviewable. But they will be in this situation if there are replacement officials.
Howard Balzer's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Did anything surprise you at the meetings at all? Did something get whispered, or did you hear anything with back channels, people trying to get deals done? Come on, you can come clean with us.
Just us, Howard.
Just us. I'll give you a good one that I heard, is that just talking to someone about the Cardinals and the quarterback situation, and we've all heard the story that was put out that we know the Cardinals had interest in Jimmy Garoppolo, who was still not signed. He was with the Rams last year and is still an unrestricted free agent. There's a lot of talk he'd be heading to Arizona. Obviously, Mike LaFleur had experience with him with the Rams. And I didn't think it would be necessarily a bad thing because he knows the system that LaFleur is putting in. And then if you bring in a young quarterback, he could be very helpful to him. Well, then it came out, they obviously didn't sign him. And it came out that something broke down in negotiations. Well, I'm told that he's perfectly fine being a backup on a good team as opposed to going to a starter on a team that he feels will get the crap knocked out of him.
Oh, wow.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And apparently that was the situation that led to him not coming to an agreement with the Cardinals. So that one I thought was pretty interesting. So yeah, that was a good one. The other one, this was not a surprise because I mentioned this last week with the Cardinals and their off-season program. It begins next Tuesday, April 7th. Strength and conditioning. Phase 1 is strength and conditioning. But right now, we don't even know who the Cardinals strength and conditioning coaches are. I mean, they had 6 last year in different roles. Right now, the website lists nobody. And Monty Ossenfort said at the Combine that when someone asked her, they're going to be he said, we're looking at everything because of injuries and all those things. We're going to be looking at everything. And someone said, have there been any changes or things like that? And he said, we're not prepared to say anything, but we'll get some clarity soon. That was on February 25th. So my question is, I had a story on Cards Wire saying, okay, it's great to have a strength and conditioning program, but who's going to be guiding these guys? I would think we'll find out next week, but right now, at least, it's not public knowledge on what changes, if any, there have been in that staff. And let me remind everybody, of those 6 guys on that staff, 5 of them were brought in by Monty Ossenfort when he was hired 3 years ago. So, we'll see where that goes, and hopefully we'll find out that information pretty soon.
And the other thing, too, is when you listen to Roger Goodell, as you heard him there when we came back, the state of the NFL with the owners and the players and the press, what'd you take out of that in reference? I know the Rooney Rule, he's going to continue to back that up. And I thought his clarification, being a former HR guy that I was for many years, Howard, is that the Rooney Rule is basically just for making sure you interview minorities. He didn't say anything about hiring. And that's where I think the Attorney General in Florida's got it mixed up. And he reiterated that. And I'm glad he clarified that for the AG in Florida, that they just want to make sure guys are interviewed of the minority status.
Right. And getting the opportunities.
Yes.
And the original Rooney Rule has been expanded over time beyond head coach, where you also have to have that for general manager openings and offensive coordinator openings. So I think that's very important also. That clip you played for Goodell was mostly about the officials and what we addressed earlier. And just so everyone knows, the main issue that's apparently on the table right now, it's not about money, it's not about a lot of other things, and Goodell has come out previously, and he said it yesterday. He said, hey, I believe these officials do an excellent job. It's a difficult job, but it could be better. And one way they want to make it better is, especially as they bring in younger officials, they want to have better ways to educate and train them. And what they want to eliminate is a dead period that there is where there's no contact with officials and the league or teams or anything from the end of the season until May. And they want to open that dead period to have some education, have seminars, have them reviewing things from last year to try to get the officiating as good as it possibly can be. And apparently the referees association is pushing back on that. You would hope, you would hope there'll be a middle ground that they will find, because I don't think there's anyone out there. I'm not so sure I'm in favor of full-time officials. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you can do that. All of a sudden, in one fell swoop, get all these officials to quit their regular job. But I do think there needs to be more accountability, and I don't think anybody would disagree with the notion that the more time these guys can spend on tasks, the better. However, you can do all that you want, but you know what's going to happen on Sundays during games. There's still going to be missed calls. There's still going to be calls that were made that were wrong, or calls that happened that weren't calls, and that will never be changed. But I think if there's more accountability, then at least people will have the feeling that the league is doing all it can, all it can to improve the officiating.
Boy, oh boy, we choked him up on that one. That's for sure. My final. Okay, I know you're good to go. Yeah. My final question to you then is this: with the talk of players like Manuch and I, we talked a little bit about a former New York Giant wide receiver trying to sell his wares to get back with the Giants. A former Giants defensive lineman trying to do the same thing. Did you happen to see players out there? And if so, were they trying to sell their wares for a particular team since they were unemployed at the time?
And those two individuals that Jimmy's alluded to, Beckham Jr., so he knows, and that Pierre as well, too,
yes,
were the two that we're alluding to.
He knows.
Well, Jason Pierre-Paul, that was public. I mean, he went public on a podcast saying, I'm available if you need me. And then there was the story, yes, that Odell Beckham Jr. met with John Harbaugh at some point.
And ownership. Yeah,
and I did not see him. I mean, where all the media is sequestered is, a ways away from everything else that's going on, and you can't get to certain places. So, but it's interesting to me that all of a sudden Odell Beckham Jr., who didn't play at all last year, makes a typical OBJ catch during a flag football game, and all of a sudden people are saying, "Oh boy, he can still play in the NFL." Well, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised to see a team give him an opportunity, but we'll see if that's the Giants or someone else. But he did have obviously some health issues there in his final couple seasons of playing. But the guy obviously has great ability. But hey, these players, they love to keep playing, obviously, for as long as they possibly can. But teams are also a little reticent at times to taking up a roster spot with someone they don't know is going to be good enough to play, and that could take opportunity away from the development of younger guys.
All right, Howard, be honest with us. With your pina colada, umbrella or no umbrella? Be honest.
When I have one, it's no umbrella.
Oh, there you go. Attaboy. Because we were going to talk about you if you had the umbrella.
Yeah, really. Thank you, Howard. Always
Thanks,
great,
Howard.
pal. Great info as always, man. You have a good day.
All right, guys. Take care.
There you go. Howard Balzer, everybody. You can find him on X, and he's a great follow. If you're an NFL person, this is the guy that you should be in touch with. It's at HBalzer721. Again, that's at HBalzer721. All right, when we come back, our learner and row, one call, that's all. What's on tap? Not much. And also, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
0-2. Swung on that, is hit well out to left center field. Meadows going back, he is looking up. That is out of here. An unexpected jolt from Corbin Carroll. It's his second home run of the season. And the D-backs strike first. It's 1-0.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. And, yep, that's the only run of the game. A 1-0 victory by the Diamondbacks over the Tigers. Manuch, they sweep the series.
Yeah, esta la barra de Tigres, the Diamondbacks. Barra is sweep in Spanish, so you know, Jimmy B.
I got you, brother. Hey, that is our Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. Hey, look, if you've been in an accident and you're injured, don't try to handle it yourself. Get in touch with Lerner and Rowe. They have been voted the state's best personal injury law firm year after year. Interact, need a check? Just make one call. It's Lerner and Rowe, 602-977-1900, or you can check them out online, at lernerandrowe.com. I think Howard Balzer was giving me the crud in my throat.
Well, you clipped. I'm going to give you the Spanish. Serpentinos is snakes in Spanish. Serpentinos barra y Tigres de Detroit. Es más muy importante por partido de béisbol y Arizona Serpentinos.
Muy gracias. I appreciate that. What's on tap? It's sponsored by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official partner of this world-class radio program. That would be Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. By the way, all 5 Twin Peaks locations, yep, they've got that Bud Light ready. It's Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Manuch, where are we going to be tomorrow?
We're going to be at the Twin Peaks in Deer Valley.
Can't wait. Always fun when we go out there. All right, so our on tap tonight, there is baseball, there is NBA. Local teams are not in action. Why? Well, because the Suns played last night. Today is an off day. They will play in Charlotte tomorrow. You can hear it on Arizona Sports and also watch it on Channel 3. And now it was a getaway day for the Diamondbacks downtown. They have the Atlanta Braves coming into town. State 48 Roofing, it's your call. Question of the day. Manuch, you worked hard on this question. I'll let you, don't do it in Spanish. We've already done that. Do it in English.
We're going to do it in English so you understand what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
All right, with third baseman Jose Fernandez having a great debut last night. What should be the third base situation? All you have to do is for our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question. They just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter or @Roc and Manuch on Instagram. Should they, Nolan start, that'd be Arenado, or Jose go to first base? Hold on to that one. Jose start / Nolan platoon. Jose start, Nolan DH.
Okay.
Or Jose start, Nolan to first base. So you got a combination there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Connor, give us an idea which way our peeps went. By the way, hold on real quick. Which way did you go, Jimmy?
I went with Arenado at third and then Fernandez at first base.
Okay, I did the same thing because they need a little bit of more of a bat.
I agree.
On that first base side, if you will. Which way did the peeps go over there, Connor?
Looks like they went the same as you. We have 100% going with Nolan starting and Jose going to first base.
Okay.
And so that's what happened this afternoon.
It was, yeah.
And Arenado at third base mixed in a hit today, got one hit. Jose Fernandez after 3 for 4, 2 dingers and 4 RBIs yesterday, 0 for 3. He went to first base. So here was the lineup. I like this lineup. By the way, Scooble, what an outstanding game he pitched. But you had Zach Gallen trump him, so to speak, with the victory when he had an outstanding 6 innings pitched. He gets the win 101. Only 4 hits, 2 Ks, 88 pitches on the day. Bullpen does a good job coming in. So here's how the starting lineup looked this afternoon. Marte was the DH.
Okay.
Corbin Carroll, the lone run with the home run. And then you had Perdomo at shortstop, Marino at catcher, Vargas at second base, Arenado at third, Fernandez, as I mentioned, at first base, Tawa at left field, Lawler in center field. Outstanding job. No errors by this team.
That's good.
So, again, well played, well pitched. You got to give it to the Diamondbacks. Go with the sweep for the Tigers. Atlanta Braves coming in town for a 4-game set.
That's going to be fun. The Braves have some star players, and we'll get a chance to that Acuna guy, Ronald Acuna. He's pretty good, Manuch. He's worth the price of admission to show up if you are a baseball fan to see him. Earlier today, and I'd like to bring this back because we have just a couple minutes left. We had a discussion about Amari Stoudemire, former Phoenix Sun and then New York Knick, and he's going to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I'm happy for Amari. I am. Terrific guy. Played terrific minutes here in Phoenix, put on a show, but Steve Nash was the star of that team. When he went to New York, knee injuries killed him, barely played, and then he was retired. So, Manu, it was a struggle for me. I have a feeling now that the NBA and maybe MLB and maybe NHL, the other Hall of Fames, maybe they're getting to that point where you don't have to be great anymore. You just have to be really, really good. And that's where I put Amari. I put him in really, really good, but not great.
Well, it's not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So that needs to be clarified. So Basketball Hall of Famers, or the criteria for them, probably looked at it. Look, as far as basketball is concerned, they feel Amari Stoudemire is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
And I think what happens is everybody gets hung up on, well, in the NBA, he did this, this, and this. Now, remember, he went from high school to the NBA.
He did.
So that's really our only sample size, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That was a term I'm looking for as far as
sample size
from Malik Willis.
Oh, I remember that sample size.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough sample size.
See, you got it.
sooner or later. But when you look at Amari Stoudemire's career, and I think I was surprised to hear this last night as well. He averaged over his career 18.9 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, only 1.2 assists per game. Field goal percentage, it's high, 53.7 per game on average. So you look at that not outstanding numbers, was more of a hybrid. He was a
Power forward,
center combo.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Amari Stoudemire was probably one of the first to pretty much be in that role. Now, LeBron, you could call him a hybrid too. He can play any position.
Yes, he can.
But I would agree with you. But I think the overall scenario is basketball versus pure NBA. And I agree with you, Jimmy. I was a little surprised that they're going to induct him into the Hall of Fame as well, too.
Okay. Congratulations, though, to Amari Stoudemire. Manuch, who's on the show tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we'll be at the Twin Peaks in Deer Valley. We'll catch up with the athletic director of UConn. Grew up here in the Valley in Tempe. David Benedict will join us. Mike DeCourcy.
Oh, yeah.
For many, many years, a college basketball press. And we'll get him. Then Reggie Geary, former U of A basketball player, color analyst, will also join us. And then we're going to be off the air early tomorrow to hand it off for baseball tomorrow. Yeah. So that's all going on tomorrow from Deer Valley, Twin Peaks.
All right. Looking forward to it. To Connor and Laz. Okay. Yeah. Better than mediocre. Okay today. Thank you, guys. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620.
Adios, muchachos.